Let's go, y'all. Monday. It's officially August, man. Time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it? Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. The big show is on the radio. This is ESPN Upstate. How do you do, Upstate South Carolina? Great to be back with you after an eventful weekend. It is good to be back in the saddle once again. I am the aforementioned Rob Brown, directly across from me. Hashtag Dad Kicks, Colonel Grudge, the Alpha and the Omega of ESPN Upstate. He's the conductor of the Symphony of Sound that is the Rob Brown Show, the pinnacle of professionalism. And dare I say, ladies and gentlemen, he has found his affinity for flat bill baseball caps. Bro, it's Lonsbro, ladies and gentlemen. The newest nickname to the roster, Flat Hat Lonzo, is now Lonsbro.
I can't. I'm gonna have to flip it backwards though, because I've found a flaw with wearing a hat forward.
Oh, yeah. No. If you're watching the stream, you saw what just happened. Effectively, Lonzo just slammed his own head into the microphone for comedic effect, and it worked.
Well, it's for comedic effect, but it's also happened 3 or 4 times today already, and I realize, I don't want to be that guy like someone else who constantly bumps. Because if you're watching, I usually put my mic in one spot and I move my head around it. Because, other people, they fidget, and I don't like that. And now that I'm bumping into it, I'm going to have to fix it because I can't. It just bothers me. There you go. You bob, you weave. Exactly. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing the entire time.
A little bit there doing that.
Are you glad to be back to work? You're probably pretty tired.
I can tell you, I could use a nap. I'm not going to lie. I could use a nap, y'all. I really could. I went, we had what? I had Trivia Tuesday, Wednesday. I had Spartan Burgers on Thursday. We had, what did we have Friday? We had something Friday night. I went to see Cowboy Mouth on Friday night.
Yeah, you had something Friday night, definitely.
Me and Captain America, Chris Evans from down the hall and the Lady Friends went over to Columbia to see Cowboy Mouth play. Lonzo, I have to tell you, you said, he's kind of shy when he goes out in public. My dude was on the rail, front and center, fist pumping. He was on the Jersey Shore?
Do you not get my sarcasm yet?
Clearly, I do not.
He is the loudest, most obnoxious person when he's live at an event, and now you know.
It was awesome.
He has a good time wherever he goes. Now it might be to the detriment to others who can't hear afterwards. I'm only saying this having gone to see Deadpool 2 with him. And him laughing so hard that I couldn't hear out of my right ear for a couple of days. But good for you.
We had a good time.
I figured you did. Sending me pictures and stuff. You guys look like you were having a wonderful time. No, I'm not cracking on Chris. Chris has fun wherever he goes.
Oh, yeah. So then we got back. Saturday, we went to Panthers camp. Had a great time. Thanks to Miss Amy and everybody over at Panthers camp who had us out. We had a blast.
What'd you think about that facility, the basketball facility?
It's one of the nicest indoor collegiate facilities I've ever seen.
Mark Ryan and we got to go over there right. I believe it's right when they opened it.
Yeah.
And we did a show from there, and it was, I'm guessing it probably still looks just as beautiful. They wouldn't let anyone out on the court then because the court was that fresh. So that is a very nice
beautiful building
on the outside and the inside.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful building, beautiful gym. I kind of got the lulls when they covered up certain features of it for Panthers camp.
You talking about namesakes?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
All right.
And then, so we did that.
I can't wait to hear about it though, because I didn't get to hear the show Saturday, and I'm wondering about your impressions of the team.
So we watched about 2 hours. Mark Ryan, me, Steve, the big boss Steve was there.
Big. I don't know if I don't know if I'd go there.
Well, I meant big in title, not
big
in
boss.
stature.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Big boss Steve was there. He came out and watched with us. His son joined us. We watched about 2 hours. As a matter of fact, me and Mark Ryan watched about 2 hours of practice on Saturday evening after we were done. Got out of the bar at about 9:30 or so. We got up out of there. I got some hits and misses. I got some takeaways that I'm going to share with you later on in the show, including 4 players who caught my eye. 4 players who really caught my eye was out there. I'll give you the first one right now. Dude, J.C. Horn is a man, Lons, bro. A straight up dude. He is big. He is quick. He is salty. He doesn't mind. Look, it was Shell's practice, right? No contact, no hitting. Somebody needed to tell JC that because he was willing to put himself into some contact situations. I got to tell you, I think the Panthers made the right pick. I know there's some folks, some in this radio station, that think that was a busted pick. Should have traded him and got Justin Fields. I'm telling you right now, J.C. Horn looked like a dude.
Does he look like a guy that goes too strong and might hurt himself, though? That's the concern. I mean, they've had a history of that with Kuechly, who did the exact same thing. So hopefully he knows when to pull it back just a little.
Didn't get that impression. Looks just like a hard-nosed player. I mean, just a guy who wants to be there and a guy who wants to attack. We'll see. They go into Shells in the next couple of days, and I'm pretty excited about that. We'll talk about that coming up later on in the show. But considering it is the first segment, I guess it's about that time. It is the lunch breakdown of 3 things you have to know before you go start talking sports with your friends, your family, the coworker, or the dog. Whoever you spend your lunch break with, these shall be the items of scuttlebutt around the lunch table today. We start with item number 1, U.S. basketball. On the women's side, Team USA has advanced to the quarterfinals. They are undefeated in 52 consecutive Olympic Games as they knock off France 93-82 in the team's last game of Group B play. But it has not been comfortable. The United States trailed in all 3 group games at the end of the first quarter. They trailed 20-17 after the opening period against Nigeria, 30-28 to Japan, and 22-19 to France. Now, all 3 turned out to be victories. The U.S. women, however, playing with fire, getting a little close. A lot of those 52 had been blowouts in the past, but they still came back to win in this round of games, which is all you can ask for. They ended up winning by double digits, but France did lead briefly in the fourth quarter of this game. Again, credit to the other nations because we are seeing basketball at a professional level get significantly, exponentially better around the world, excuse me. I've been telling y'all this on the men's side that at some point you would have to drop expectations because the reality is the rest of the world is catching up. Didn't say has caught up, said is catching up. And now you're seeing that on the women's side as well. France exploiting a lot of the Americans' weaknesses defensively, specifically, especially when they weren't getting much pressure on the ball, allowing the French to get shots that they wanted and knocking those shots down. In fact, I think you could see a couple of spots defensively where Dawn Staley was getting a little bit frustrating. Players have often talked about going back to their 2 exhibition losses in Las Vegas. Remember, one, though, was to the WNBA All-Stars, not the end of the world. But they said coming out of those 2 L's that communication needed to get better. And so far, it literally has not. But They are on to the quarterfinals. They are into the medal round. They are set, and we will have your next round games there. The men's side also into the knockout round as well. That loss to France kind of knocked a little something into the men's team. They wrapped up their group play on Sunday, and the knockout bracket quarterfinal matchups are officially set. The 2-1 Yanks will play Team Spain, who is also 2-1 after back-to-back blowout wins over Iran and the Czech Republic. The U.S. suffered its first Olympics loss since 2004 when they fell to France back in the opener. But since then, Durant, Lillard, Tatum, Team USA have looked a little bit more like their old self. Spain, of course, a longtime rival of the U.S., has a veteran-laden squad with experience dating back to the 2004 Olympics. Paul Gasol still on that team, still playing a key role after leading them to silver in 2008 and 2012. Ricky Rubio, Marc Gasol, Rudy Fernandez, amongst the other notable names still on the Spanish roster. The winner of USA versus Spain will face the winner of Australia and Argentina. Australia is 3-0, and remember, defeated the Americans in an exhibition game back on July 12th. Patty Mills leads the Aussies with 21.7 per game. Luis Scola scoring 19.7 per game for Argentina. The other side of the bracket, France, who won the group at 3-0, will play 2-1. Italy, Slovenia won their group at 3-0, plays Germany, who moved on out of their group at just 1-2, which works out favorably for the Americans, as France, which is the only team to have beaten the U.S. in this group, is over on the other side of the bracket, and Slovenia is over on the other side. Luka Doncic, playing for Slovenia right now, is out there knocking down 28.3 points per game. Tuesday night, late, 12:40 a.m. Lonzo, you staying up till 12:40 a.m. to watch a knockout game for the Americans?
Probably not.
Sad thing is, I will. Join the tweet along, and then a very tired Rob Brown on Wednesday's show after that one. Item number 2 on the lunch breakdown. U.S. soccer yesterday. The American women are no longer in contention for the gold medal. They fall 1-0 to our great neighbors to the north, Canada, who converted a PK shot in the 75th minute. And that was all the Canadians needed to win to knock off the Americans. We didn't know which U.S. national team was going to show up because we had really seen two of them. We had really seen two of them in the Olympics. We saw the one that gutted out a PK shootout win against the Netherlands in a 2-2 draw. We also saw one that got walloped 3-0 by Sweden to open the tournament. And, we got the former, unfortunately. This has been a very subpar version of what we came to expect out of the United States women's national team. It is the team that has been the team representing us for the majority of this tournament. There were a couple of breakout performances. Lynn Williams looked good. Elisa Nair looked good against the Netherlands in goal. She actually had to come out of this game against Canada with a knee injury. It was a disappointing moment. The Americans really unable to get anything going. Canada playing a 4-player diamond midfield that basically overwhelmed the U.S. Women's national team central trio. The U.S. was mostly the more dangerous team in the second half, generating an expected goal stat that perhaps should have been enough, but they just couldn't get it there. The first shot on goal for the Americans didn't come until the 65th minute of play. Canada found the only breakthrough when Tierna Davidson fouled Deanne Rose in the box, which was a bit more ironic since Davidson was one of the U.S. women's national team's most solid players this tournament. Abby Dahlkemper normally would have started, but she struggled in all of her previous games. However, it did not matter. While Nair was out, the Canadians took advantage, buried the PK, and it was all said and done. So the Americans, who have looked devoid of chemistry. They did not look like they were clicking. They did not look aggressive. They didn't look like they were having fun. That's been the hallmark of this team for a very long time, is that in watching them play, they look like they have fun. And this team did not look like they were enjoying their time out there. I got to tell you, I hate to be, I hate to be dramatic. I hope I'm not being dramatic, Lonsbro, but I think this iteration of the women's national team is, I think it's time they get blowed up. We start shipping the young girls up towards the top, because this team's done. I don't know what happened. I don't know what got to them. I don't know if it was too much attention paid off the field or what.
Or maybe, just outside looking in type of thing, because I'm not as invested as you are. And I think a lot of people think that this is possibly the case, that it is lack of focus on the actual game and more focus on the protests and all that kind of thing. I think whether that's the truth or not, that's going to be the narrative.
I don't think it is the truth. It is absolutely the narrative. You are correct, 100% correct. Whether it's the truth or not, it will be the narrative. I think the narrative here is that this team just didn't have chemistry. This team just didn't have chemistry. They just didn't have it. There was nothing to it. Now, on the other side, and we're going to come back and break this down later on, your boy was up late last night because Miles Robinson and the United States men's national team decided, so what if it's Mexico's A team? So what if this is a tournament we're not supposed to win? So what if Allegiant Field is 70% Mexico fans and 30% American fans? So what? Let's go win the Gold Cup. And they did. Miles Robinson, an extra time goal in the 117th minute, lifts the Americans to a Gold Cup final victory in front of an overwhelmingly pro El Tri crowd at Allegiant Field in Las Vegas. The victory marked the second time in 2 months that the U.S. defeated their rivals in a continental tournament after winning the Nations League back in early June. Kellen Acosta would take a foul and then deliver a deep free kick into the 8-yard box. Miles Robinson would head home off the ground the winning game. The Gold Cup final was the fifth game in the tournament that the USMNT won by a 1-0 scoreline, including all three knockout stage games. Goalkeeper Matt Turner, who plays professionally for the New England Revolution of MLS, started in goal the entire tournament, earned clean sheets in all 5 of those games. The U.S. has won 9 consecutive games overall, 14 home games in a row. The 7th time that the U.S. has won the CONCACAF Gold Cup. The last win came back in 2017 when they took on the Reggae Boys. The USMNT had only defeated Mexico once previously in a Gold Cup final, with that win coming in 2007 when Landon Donovan and Benny Feilhaber both scored in a 2-1 victory. Enormous win last night. Enormous win for the boys. Enormous win for Team USA on the men's side. And very, very happy about winning that Gold Cup. We're going to talk about what that means later on. Plus, coming up in just a few minutes, got an opportunity to watch practice for the Carolina Panthers on Saturday there at Wofford. I got some players that stood out to me. It's going to be a busy show. We got a whole weekend to catch up with. When we come back, one moment in the Olympics that stood out to a lot of people this weekend. We're going to put you on the medal stand and ask you a question. Would you be able to share a gold with somebody else? We'll talk about that when we come back on the Rob Brown Show. This is ESPN Upstate.
Golf cart.
'21 Golf ESPN Upstate Golf Card is available for you right this very second, ladies and gentlemen. 9 beautiful, prestigious courses around the Upstate. 9 rounds of golf. You're getting it for just $99. Yeah, no, that's exactly what I said. $99. 9 rounds of golf. 9 different courses around the Upstate. You can't beat it, folks. You can't beat it. Go to upstategolfcar.com right now, upstategolfcar.com, to see the details, to see the courses, to get yourself set up, and of course, most importantly, to buy yours and somebody else's. Make them love you more. You're not going to find a deal like that anywhere else. Go to upstategolfcar.com. It's the 2021 Upstate Golf Card. Oh, my goodness. I've tried to stop drinking energy drinks, Lonzo. It's not going well.
Well, like most things, cold turkey may not be a good idea.
Oh,
Just kind of ease yourself off of it, like buy smaller cans or something. I don't know.
I wonder how heavy the handball is.
I don't know.
I like that one. I like her. She just takes it dry. Watch. Just straight at it. Get in my way. I like her.
All right, for the men's game, the ball is 58 to 60 centimeters in circumference and is 425 to 475 grams, which is 15 to 16.75 ounces in weight.
So
It's not very heavy.
it's the weight of 3 baseballs. Baseballs are about 5 ounces.
And it's not, I'm guessing it's not soft, but it's not. It's just
Yeah.
like a smaller volleyball. I bet it's about the size of that basketball for that little Tykes court.
So I finished the boys. I'm not saying anything about it. I'm just telling you.
Think it's about this size, maybe a little bit bigger.
I'd say it's a little bit bigger than this,
Much,
but not a ton.
I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. They seem to, like, even the girls are catching it and squeezing it one-handed, you know?
True.
Oh, she took that range shot.
So you finished season 1 or season 2?
All of what's available, season 2.
Okay.
And for the record, it's like every time I think it can't get more crazy, they up it further.
I will finish it in a couple of weeks, or at least be watching it in a couple of weeks, because my wife will be out of town, so I don't have to worry about judgment.
Judgment. All right, so let me ask you a question. If you missed it, on Sunday, 2 Olympians, Gianmarco Tambiri from Italy and Qatar's Mutaz Barshin, who have been friends for more than 10 years, both successfully progressed on the high jump to 2.37 meters, which is roughly 7.78 feet in the air. Neither of them was able to surpass the 2.39 meter, 7.84 feet mark, which would be an Olympic record. Each of them attempted the height 3 times. The official then asked the two if they wanted to settle the tie with a jump off. Brashim asked if they could instead have 2 gold medals, and the official confirmed that 2 could be given out. The Italian high jumper then celebrated along with his friend. Tamberi said, quote, "We didn't even answer. We just enjoyed the moment because we want it so much. We are very good friends," end quote. Barshim told the Associated Press, quote, "For me coming here, I know for a fact that for the performance I did, I deserve that gold. He did the same thing, so I know he deserved that gold. This is beyond sport. This is the message we deliver to the next generation," end quote. Lonzo, you are in a spot where you are in this heated competition with an opponent, and you just can't get over the hump. In this case, literally, neither can they. You good with splitting a gold medal here? Or should we have dropped the bar down 1 and just keep jumping until somebody blew it?
First, I have a question before I answer that question. Was there, so the third person in this, did they get the bronze or did they get the silver?
I don't know. I would assume they'd get a bronze, right? Like that's how most tie breaks go or most ties go.
So no one gets the silver.
I guess not. I don't know. I wasn't paying it unless they both get a gold and then there is a silver and a bronze, which maybe it was. I don't know. Was the answer.
I'm just curious about that because that would affect whether I did it or not. Because if effectively the person who's in 4th place gets a bronze, if we tie for first,
it looks like it's 2 golds and then a bronze.
Okay,
no silver medal.
All right. So we're jumping off because I want to know. I want to win. I mean, it comes down to like in golf playing, the extra holes. Till you come up with one guy who fails and one guy who succeeds. Even if it is my buddy, my friends are mostly really competitive, and they're not going to be happy with no ties. If I lose because I lost in a jump off, I'm good with that.
So I thought about this a bunch.
I want to win, Rob. I want to win.
Well, again, and you've seen, Lonzo, you've seen the unnecessarily competitive side of me come out, right? Like unnecessarily competitive.
I don't find it unnecessary. I find it definitive. It's how it should be.
It's unnecessarily competitive. Who was that? Oh, our buddy Jay from downstairs came up to me. He was at the Panthers camp on Saturday too. And he came up to me and he goes, "Oh yeah, man. Haven't seen you since we went bowling a few weeks back." And I said, yeah, good to see you. He goes, "Yeah, I wanted to ask you a question before I left, but you seemed a little too in the zone to want to have a conversation about radio at that point." And my response was, "Yeah, sorry about that.
Don't apologize for that.
Couldn't figure that lane out, and it was aggravating the crap out of me."
Don't apologize for that. That winning drive is what's going to bring us home the gold here in 2 weeks, or like
12 days,
less than 2 weeks. Yes, yeah. I mean that's what we strive to do in everything we do. We want to win the ratings here. We want to be the best. We want to do all that, and not only in our job but in life. So there's nothing wrong with having that drive.
Yeah, but like everything else, in moderation, Lonzo. In moderation, everything in moderation, friend. As very little is bad for you done in moderation. All right. Now, anyway, it looks like a soccer ball, Lonzo. The handball, I feel like it's just a tiny soccer ball.
What's this?
Look at that with the skip under
between the legs.
The nutmeg, nice. So anyway. What were we talking about?
You apologized to Jay for being in the zone and unapproachable while you were trying to master that lane.
Just unnecessarily competitive. So there is a part of me that's unnecessarily competitive that initially I thought, I don't know that I'd be cool splitting a gold medal. I don't know that I would be cool splitting a gold medal. I think I won it, right? Because the entire premise of a gold medal is to show that you are the best in the world. And you can't do that with a tie, right? But here's the thing. They both successfully hit every jump up to the Olympic record. At the Olympic record was where neither one of them could complete, right? So they had already cleared the same bar together. It is the definition of a tie. Neither is physically capable of doing the thing that is required to get to the next level. They just can't, right? They both cleared whatever it was, 3.789 meters, whatever. They both cleared the same
Stop all
height.
this meters crap. How many feet was it?
No, we really should switch to Imperial or to the metric system.
How dare
We
you
really should.
move to Canada?
Metric system is better.
No, it's
It's
not.
just a fact.
What is wrong with you?
Base 10. It's easy. It's
I
just
am
science.
going to leave this room.
It's just science. Base 10 works better. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. Point is, neither could top 7.84 feet. Neither could do it. They both top 7.83 feet. Then they hit the exact same bar. Therefore, nobody won. And the only way to settle it would have been to go back down until somebody just missed a spot that they had already cleared. And we don't do that in any other sport, right? We don't take away something you've already accomplished and make you accomplish it again to prove that you can. Look,
Except for like in case of ties. I mean, like in football, it's basically starting over. The first one scores. In golf, you basically put all that aside, right? And so it's the same. It's the same concept.
Yeah, but that's it. That is two teams that are playing a sport against each other, scoring directly against each other. Maybe you could argue that golf is similar, right? And that you've already played that hole of golf and you've shown what you can do on it. But you're still playing next
all right,
to this guy.
let me give you a scenario. All right, it's you and Mark Ryan, and you are doing this. We're on the same team. I mean, we play at the same station, all that kind of stuff. But it's you and Mark Ryan. Are you settling for that tie? Because I don't believe you would.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's fair.
Now, if it's me and you, I kind of get it, but I still don't think you would either.
I think it's right. And I guess that's where I was circling back around to is these guys have been friends for 10 years, and that's probably why they did it, right? So that they could both be buddies and walk away with golds together. If those guys have been rivals for 10 years, if they had been fighting each other for 10 years and didn't like each other, I suspect we might still be jumping today till somebody blows it. Yeah, I get it. That's fair. That's fair. They accepted the tie because they're buddies. If they weren't buddies, they wouldn't have accepted the tie. They would have gone up against each other in a battle of fortitude for days. Would you have accepted the tie? Phone lines open 844-GSP-ESPN. Text us at 71307, 71307. Start your text with ESPN so we can read them on the air. When we take a break, I'll give you some thoughts from Panthers training camp practice on Saturday. Mark Ryan and I were in attendance. I'll give you some of what I saw, what I liked, what I didn't. Coming up next on the Rob Brown Show on ESPN Upstate. I don't have allergies today. I do. Yeah, I was gonna say you may have heard Zoe.
I'm Christine Lisi. Breaking news on the Colts. Quarterback Carson Wentz will have surgery on his injured foot later today. He's 5 to 12 weeks. Coach Frank Reich said the injury was an old one dating perhaps back to high school that got worse over time. ESPN's Adam Schefter reporting Eagles rookie receiver Devontae Smith expected to miss 2 to 3 weeks with a sprained MCL. An MRI revealed that injury. Teams not expressing too much concern about the 10th overall pick in this year's draft. Smith was injured during practice on Saturday night. He is expected to be Philly's lead receiver. The Heat positioning itself to be the front runner for one of the top names on the market once NBA free agency begins at 6 Eastern tonight. Kyle Lowry, according to ESPN's Avery Wojnarowski, Heat's maneuvered itself to offer the Raptors a good deal once talks can start to sign a trade. Tune into the 6 Eastern Sports Center, ESPN TV, for the latest on free agency.
From the Ingles Market Studio, this is ESPN Upstate. 97.7 FM Greenville, 97.1 FM Spartanburg. ESPN Upstate.
they do have a slight phase.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what. Tim Frisbee said I look like a woodpecker. It took me a while to get it. Like Woody Woodpecker always wore that hat, and I just
Well, and you were.
was I?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Woodpecker didn't wear that hat. It was his hair. I'm just so
CP3
confused.
Maybe interesting. Go back to Ocho. I saw a tweet about that, Keegan. I don't think it's going to happen. Maybe you bring him in a camp for the lulls, but I don't think you bring him in for reals. CP3 is going to stick with Phoenix. I think. I mean, it'd be cool. I'd love to see him with Zion, but I don't know how much you can invest in that.
I can't do that unless I do this.
Bro.
Look at that. My hat's slightly to the side, too. Yeah.
It is. I don't know why it is, Lonzo, but every old guy imitating young guy dancing does this. And I don't know why that's the dad default go-to.
That's what he does.
Who?
That's what Riddle does.
You're doing Riddle. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not trying to.
I thought you were just impersonating young people in general.
No, I'm impersonating Riddle. My rhythm can't be contained in this room, so you will not witness it. I was just, act like Riddle. Not that popular a character, obviously, since you didn't get it. You need a nap, dude.
I do need a nap. I need a Red Bull. I usually start my day out with like 2 energy drinks before lunch, and I'm trying not to do it today. And clearly you can see the impact of that.
Well, as far as caffeine goes, all I can offer you is a Diet Melon Mountain Dew. But it does have some caffeine in it if you would like one.
I appreciate it. I may go run to the gas station at the break and grab a Red Bull, but grab one of the baby cans.
You ain't going to no gas station at the break.
It's right there.
Dude.
Not the break of the show, like at the end of the show.
Oh, okay. You
Not
said
like on break.
no. You said it break. I mean, if you want to do that part of the show on the cell phone, I think it would be kind of funny. Down the hall may not think so, but I've had people attempt to do such a thing. That is my concern. That I thought that you were serious.
You got somebody
Yes.
to go get something on break. No. I don't. Even if you went to the one that's right there, you could not. You'd have to, like, if you had a bike, maybe you could ride a bike.
But
there
you
and
still
back.
got to deal with the traffic
Yeah.
and being able to get across the road. Speaking of which, have you looked up the menu for the new chicken place across the street?
No, I didn't know there was.
It's a Viva Chicken. It's like right next to. You should look up the menu. I don't know if it's open yet or not, but gonna have to hit that place here pretty soon, I think. It's right next to the iPlace across the street.
Brought to you by Capital One Auto Navigator, where you can find a car, get pre-qualified instantly, and see your real monthly payment without impacting your credit score. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Terms and conditions apply. Find out more at CapitalOne.com/autonavigator.
Rob Brown the Lockdown on Twitter.
One texter says, "I'll split a gold medal to preserve a friendship. Friends get you through the tough times." That's from Scott. Hurricane Jeff says, Hurricane Jeff says, "I get the point from both sides. However, I would have shared the gold medal, not just because she is my friend, but it makes good financial sense. The gold medal is worth a lot more in endorsements and payouts than a silver medal is," end quote. Yes, correct. We saw, what was it? There was like a weightlifter from the Philippines that won gold. First gold for the Philippines in like 50 years. And the Philippines government gave her like a house on the beach, a condo in the midst of a metropolitan city, and some hundreds of thousands of dollars to live off of, etc. There are perks that come along with being a gold medal winner that I think make it worth it to split and say you're a gold medal winner.
Well, call me overly macho, whatever, but I know my best friend in the entire world growing up, neither one of us would give up until we're bleeding and pass out. I mean, and that's how it goes, because if we decide to share, there's always going to be that, yeah, but you quit. That's the reason why we're sharing the gold, is because I can't fathom it. I can't.
Yeah, I get it. It's again.
And it comes down to the fact that you said they were good friends for 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, so you've been competing against someone for that long. Obviously you drive each other, and then there's always going to be a little bit of doubt. Yeah, we agreed with it because you knew you couldn't beat.
Yeah, I think that would be the other part, right? Is especially if it's a buddy of yours.
And if you're the one who came up with it, you're the one who quit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. So here's the problem. Well, not problem. Here's how it played out. So the young man from Qatar, when the official came over and said, look, here's the deal. Both of you have gone by the Olympic record. You haven't been able to knock down the Olympic record. Do you want to keep going? Do you want to try it again? Do you want to have a jump off where we will lower the bar back down and basically start the process all over again? And the gentleman from Qatar said, can we have 2 golds? Can there be 2 golds? The judge said, yes, there can be 2 golds. Goalkeeper. Wow. Court length goal. Sorry.
Now you see why I went.
We're a handball show now. We're just a handball analysis show. The goalkeeper for España, I believe, just scored a goal from her goal all the way. Hey, man, you pull the keeper. That's the risky run.
You leave that net unguarded, especially with the length of that court. Does that look like regulation basketball, maybe? Length of the court?
I'd probably say ballpark it is. I'd say ballpark it is.
This may be a replay. I don't know, but we'll consider it breaking news. That's why we interrupted that thought, because that was an amazing thing.
So the gentleman from Qatar said, can we do multiple golds? The official said yes. Then the guy from Italy lost his ever-loving mind over it, like blew his top because he realized that he has won a gold medal in the Olympics. Like it was, he got it. It was all over. He won gold. So did his boy. So did his amigo. But he won gold. And it was just a cool moment to see, moment to experience.
Which makes me think, not having seen it, but by the description, that guy thought if it went to a jump off, he was going to lose.
Maybe. One guy suggested it. The other guy celebrated like he was all about it. But they gave each other a big hug. They took a victory lap together. They're boys. I get it. I just don't know if I was in that spot and my opponent came up and said, I want to share a gold with you. I don't know if my response would have been, yeah, that's cool. Or, dude, no.
I'm going to delve into some politics here for just a second. If one of those countries had been a huge, like China or a communist country, do you think that would be accepted by the I don't think so. I don't think they'd be allowed to do it.
I have no idea. I don't know. Also, I don't know why my phone decided it needed to talk to me right there. I don't know, man. I could see you being right. I could see a China or a Russia.
Yeah, I'm just picturing them celebrating, and this guy in a rather nice suit walks over and whispers in the air, and they say, "No, never mind."
Yeah,
jump off.
I don't know, man. Oh, gross. I don't like thinking about it.
I apologize for my scenarios, but still, I'm
gross.
Just picturing that happening.
No, I mean, you're not wrong. It would have been ugly. I don't know. I'm trying to put myself, I don't know that you can answer this question unless you're in the spot, right? Like there's part of me that I've talked about. It's uber competitive, right? Like uber competitive. And then there is a part of me that thinks, man, I think it'd be cool to win a gold. How often do you have that situation, right? How often do you get a chance to be a gold medalist? And here's a chance for you to say, I'm a gold medalist. Because I got to tell you, Lonzo, how's the feeling if you say, yeah, let's do a jump off, and then you lose the jump off? You were an Olympic gold medalist. And now you're the guy who lost under pressure. I got to tell you, not a big fan of that potential outcome, to tell you the truth. I'm really not.
I'm just thinking of some of the most famous Olympic athletes. Do you think any of those guys or girls would say, yeah, I'm willing to share? Because I don't think so.
I don't know, man. They were never in that situation. Hey, it's one of those sports situations. One of those sports situations that I don't think you can know what you would do until you're in the position, right? Like, I don't know what would have happened if Mary Lou Retton got the twisties like Simone Biles did. Would she have walked away? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know.
All right. So a week from Saturday, when we're in Columbia, if they say we've decided that we're giving both the sports shows the #1 award, are you okay with that? Because I'm not.
I'll challenge them to handball for the trophy.
We'll challenge them at something. I haven't looked them up yet, but chances are they're probably younger than me, but that's all right. I play dirty.
Lonzo's the Dennis Rodman of the team. The Detroit Pistons represented in all things Zoe. Lon's bro, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's take a break. Your thoughts are still welcome. 844-GSP-ESPN. Text to 71307. Let's have a little fun today, man. Where you guys at? It's quiet out there in Radio Land. Some thoughts on the Panthers camp when we come back on the Rob Brown Show on ESPN Upstate.
our beautiful energy-efficient windows, you'll get 10% off the entire purchase. Visit amwupstate.com or call 334-6030, 334-6030. And remember, the best windows are American made.
That World Haunted Attraction
Uh-oh.
officially opens September 10th.
Wow.
Tickets go on pre-sale for 50% off.
Yeah, but you're not. Yeah, you.
This is
Never
a
mind.
one-day only sale.
So I'm guessing you don't like jump scares. You don't like horror movies. You wouldn't like a. Yeah.
You can take Courtney with you. She'll love you. Because I ain't going.
I've been once. It was kind of fun. Scariest thing there though was Chris. My son and daughter, they didn't get afraid of anything, but we went through one room and came out, and there's Chris just standing in the corner, and no one saw him. Scared him half to death. He thought it was hilarious.
Start your job today. AutoZone.com. Restrictions apply.
There was a moment of fire where the owner made sure the fire came up right when I walked by, which I thought was, kind of cool.
Did you immediately go?
The wildest thing they have there to me, well, is a white room, and what it is nothing but white light. You walk in, it's nothing but you can't see anything.
Okay.
I mean, because it's nothing but white light. That was interesting. Hey, only a couple of days away from that. You gonna go see Suicide Squad in theaters, or are you gonna watch it on HBO Max? Because I'm watching it on HBO Max, full free. Not really.
I do have HBO Max.
I mean, At least if it bombs, you would say that you didn't
True.
pay
It
for
was
it.
money on it. All right, wrap it up. Hour number 1 here in the Rob Brown Show on ESPN Upstate. Texter says ESPN a roll call. Sean listening in on the Odyssey app, driving around North Georgia, delivering tires. Loving the show. Rob, have you tried the Rise Guys beer? Can we get local beer reviews? Have I tried the Rise Guys beer? Of course, I've tried the Rise Guys beer. In fact, I've got 2 6-packs of Rootin' Tootin' Red Rooster Ale sitting over in the office right now to be taken home for the weekend. As a matter of fact, introduced the little brother to the Growlin' Prowlin' Golden Tiger. I forgot, I'm blanking on the name off the top of my head. However,
Yeah, you're looking at me for alcohol
man, I don't
help,
know why
and
I'm
that's
looking at
not.
Zoe
Yeah,
like
it's
he's
not.
gonna bail
Yeah.
me out on this one. I'm on my own in this one. Yeah, you know what? I really should start doing some local beer reviews. I really should. Mark Ryan's been doing the restaurants. I might as well do the breweries. In fact, I think I might do that this weekend.
The restaurant thing's been done. We've been doing that for years over on Saturdays. But the alcohol thing, I don't recall hearing anyone doing that. So that would be somewhat original. Wouldn't be stolen from someone else. So you should do it.
Well, what do you know about that? It's called a niche, and I found it. Texas says ESPN, we have football. He says we have football this month. That's all that football this month. We got football this week, Jack. I need y'all to know. Yesterday was the last Sunday of 2021 without NFL football in it, Lonzo. Every Sunday from here to 2022, baby.
I knew there was a reason I should have went ahead and cut my grass, and I didn't.
Yep.
So now I may have to do it on a weekday.
Well, next week you're good because it's Hall of Fame game, which isn't until like 7. Well, it's Eastern time, so it isn't until 3:00 in the morning in Eastern time.
That's not true. That's a slight exaggeration.
It is like 8:30, right?
I love watching the Hall of Fame game because it's, from the Hall of Fame, and I've been in that stadium before to watch a Canton Massillon high school game, which I was in high school when I went to see it and went, oh my God, I'm glad we don't play these guys.
How many of those did you have like after or in high school where you're like, man, I'm real glad I didn't lean up against that guy? We played a high school team in 2002 state championship finals against the Haines City Hornets. who were good. I think they had like 4 kids that went D1 and they smoked us, right? But the team that they beat in the semis, Lonzo, had 3 guys that were 7 foot on it. 3 players that were 7 foot tall. And this team beat them. But I was real glad I didn't have to go up against 3 7-footers. Sean said, I nominate myself as an ESPN Upstate Brewery Tour unpaid intern. Let me give you a piece of advice. Don't do that. Just show up as a guest and a friend. If you show up as an intern, I'm going to make you do intern stuff. But if you just say, I'm here to drink a brewski with you.
But if there's things you've always wanted to do, but you wanted someone to make you do them, then go ahead, come as an intern. Yeah.
Be the intern. Unpaid is the key word there. Speaking of football, let's talk about it. Thoughts on Panthers camp when we come back. I'm Rob. He's Zoe. This is ESPN Upstate.
Look at Rob teasing an entire hour and never quite got to the Panther thing yet. That's awesome.
No, it's not. It's unprofessional.
Really, because I do that all the time. I think it's funny. Guess I'm just not very professional. I don't care.
Automotivemap.com presents your ESPN Upstate Sports Center update powered by The Score. Alembre's baseball tough weekend. They lose 2 of 3 at home to the Milwaukee Brewers on Sunday. They lose by a 2-1 score. They got a pretty good pitching performance from Charlie Morton. He allows 2 runs on 3 hits with no walks.
Morton.
Strikeouts as he goes 6 innings. It's not enough as he takes the loss to drop to 10-4. Atlanta losing their 9th straight.
See that thing you just did over the microphone where you just did your nose thing? Maybe that's why they think
yeah.
that might possibly.
Yeah,
I'm just,
now that it's been
just
pointed out
saying.
to me.
I always hope when that sort of thing happens, someone's about to take a bite of sandwich. But I'm evil.
With your ESPN Upstate Sports Center update, I'm Matt Pauley.
Yeah, Keegan, you're right. I gotta say, sometimes it's intentional, sometimes it's not, because I have no complete format. So sometimes if I go a certain direction, I just keep going. I have teased an entire show and never got to something before, but it wasn't on purpose.
It's also, how Keegan is definitely listening to the show.
Yeah, and I appreciate it.
Statagus, I wish I had my notes in here because I actually had that written down at one point in the past. I like it. Hop takes, sports hop takes, hop like.
No, I get it. Just because I don't drink doesn't mean I don't know what it's made out of.
That smart ass thing I do where I over explain the joke for.
Yeah, but you were looking at me when you did it because I just turned
you're
around.
the only person in the room.
We made eye contact, and so I thought it was directed at me.
No. Is this true?
Yes.
Is it?
I was saving it for Twitter trending topics, but
I've picked up on Lonzo's mad because a thing was on Twitter and now it's.
You have a QC Connects in the first break. I don't know why I turned to make sure it was heard on the microphone, but
Hour number 2 of the Rob Brown Show gets going now. This is ESPN Upstate. Hello, Upstate South Carolina. Great to be with you one more time again. I am Rob Brown. Directly across from me in the air chair, the great one, Lonzo. Filling in for what? Who are you filling in for? It's your show. What is happening to me today? So let me phrase
I think you've already said what's happening to you. And this proves that you have a problem. because yes, this proves that you have a problem. If you're suffering this much on the first day, you can get past this once the DTs hits and everything. I'm not going to hold you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hold you when you're shaking unless you really need it. I will. I got a jacket. I'll bring it in. But once you get past that and stuttering, I'm okay with that. But it's going to be all right. You're going to get through this.
So for those of you that are not watching on the stream, I told Lonzo that I have decided. You ever have one of those one of those moments, Lonzo, where you're just inspired to make a bunch of big life changes? Just like laying in bed one night and you're like, you know what?
Yeah, it usually happens when the boss says, I need to see you.
I was, for whatever reason, I'm driving back from Columbia on Friday. Took the lady friend over to Columbia to go see one of my favorite bands out of New Orleans, a band called Cowboy Mouth, play. And on the way back, I just I mean, a couple of things happened, but I just had this thing where I'm like, you know what? It's a new day. Yes, it is. I'm going to embrace the power of positivity. I'm going to make some changes in my life.
So you decided to not be sour. Good on you.
I wouldn't dare be sour. Decided to make the power of positivity real. And I thought to myself, I'm going to make some life changes, man. You know what? I'm going to be better. And I'm going to start it on Monday. I'm going to go back. I'm going to lose some weight. I lost a bunch of weight right after I moved here, Zoe. I dropped down from 260 down to 215, 220. Dexter says a lot of us have questioned our life's decisions on the drive back from Columbia.
Well done.
Well done. Yeah, I'm on the drive back, and I don't know why, and I don't know where it came from, but I decided I'm gonna make some choices, man. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna lose some weight. I went from 260 down to 215, 220 at one point last year, and now I'm right back up to 250. I'm you know what? I'm gonna make the changes. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna do all the things I did right. Well, one of them was that I have to stop drinking 3 to 4 energy drinks a day. Because at this point, I can hear my kidney stones planning their attack, right?
I didn't put 2 and 2 together until just this moment, but you didn't do that thing that you do at the beginning of the show like you normally do.
Oh, where I turn off the mic and try to hide.
No, where you project a great deal. I don't want to say yell. I wouldn't say yell. No, there's a yell would cause
a tactical yell.
There you go. A yell would cause overmodulation.
The tactical yell. So as Zoe can attest, ordinarily the day for your boy starts about 9:30 when I roll into the office, fall into the chair, spin around to the mini fridge, grab the first energy drink.
I knew you were going there. That fictional thing that keeps things cold in the office that doesn't really exist.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Not that thing.
The little box to the side where we keep all our drinks in.
Yeah. Also known as a cooler.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah. So about 9:30, crack the first one. Usually have a second one at the start of the show right at noon. Have a third one around 3:30, 4 o'clock when we're getting towards the end of the day. And I thought, you know what? That's too many. That's too many energy drinks. You got to stop. You got to stop, fatso. Knock it off. So I came in here today with 3 of my little waters right here. 3 of my little waters. And the show opened up and it was just meh. Which Lonzo has now pointed out was a notable difference from normal. So anyway, I have cold turkey the Red Bull.
There's a problem on a show when I'm bringing the energy. So I mean, there are other shows where I bring it, but I'm not the energy guy here. And I'm having to bring some energy today, and I'm not comfortable with it. Now, I'm not saying you should go back to the old ways, but I am saying that you quit in moderation. You don't just cold turkey, because cold turkey causes headaches and other things like that. Just take it easy. That's all. You've had some offers of listeners who are concerned, actually willing to go get you said energy drink and bring it to you, which is just awesome.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Or you're feeding his addiction. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, you're an enabler. No, I gotta stop. I gotta be less of a person.
All right. So during the next break, knock out about 50 jumping jacks.
No, I didn't say I want to work that hard.
Well,
for it.
I'm not saying for the weight loss part, but to build up your adrenaline, to get that stuff going, man. Or just pretend like you're getting ready to throw the first pitch out at a baseball game.
You ready for the even dumber thing that happened this weekend? You ready for the even dumber thing? So on Friday when we got over to Columbia, the lady friend picked out a bar for us to go to before the show started, right?
Was it at 5 points? I'm just curious.
I don't know where 5 points is, so
Okay.
solid maybe.
All right.
It was a bar called Transmission, which is a barcade. It's not kind of like the Pinky's bar here in town, Pinky's Revenge. It's a barcade, right? So it's got a full service bar and food and all that, but there's also a bunch of old arcade games and pinball games around the outside. So we roll in and the lady friend goes, "Hey, Area 51 this is my favorite game growing up." So she and I, whenever we go to a barcade and there's Area 51, we just roll through the whole game and play and see who can, kill more aliens, whatever. Lonzo, this is where I knew I was in trouble. On Saturday, I get up to get ready for Panthers camp. I'm putting my whole thing together, putting all my stuff together. And I realized as I go to pick up my bag, dude, my right arm and my right shoulder are just sore, right? And I'm like, is this from throwing a pitch? A pitch? I threw a pitch and my arm hurts like this. Then she texts me back and she's like, my right arm and my right shoulder are sore. Lonzo, I got sore from holding up a video game pistol for like 10 minutes playing Area 51.
Well, in your defense, those are slightly weighted. So, I mean, you're not used to that. Are those weighted? I haven't held that particular one, but I've.
I mean, they're not light, but there's no excuse for me doing this for 10 minutes and the next day hurting. And literally, I think that was the moment that I'm like, I got to make some changes in my life.
You would feel
better.
the same if you were out using a shovel or a pickaxe or something like that. You were using a tool that was necessary to get done the job, and you did. And, you get a little sore the next day, but you had fun, right?
I had a blast.
There you go.
Beat the game. What do you want? Dexter says, Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. Yeah, that's about how I feel this morning.
Why'd you have to go there for?
All right. Let's talk Panther training camp. We got the opportunity to head over there on Saturday. Did Mark Ryan and I spend a few minutes with the staff, with the organization? First off, I had to tell you, y'all, and I don't mean for this to sound or anything, but their staff was busting it to make that a cool experience, man. Their staff was absolutely busting it to make it a cool experience. They were the hustle bus was real. Those guys were great. Miss Amy and the gang were incredible. They kept we're doing the show and they're coming. What can we get you? We got you this guy. We got you this guy. They brought me. By the way, can I just tell you, Lonzo, that I want to be Mick Mixon when I grow up?
Is that dude awesome or
That
what?
dude is.
He is like, when you think of cool entering a room, that's him.
Mick rolls up, dude. Mick Mixon rolls up in baggy, straight, oversized, paint-covered jeans, a white, solid white polo shirt with the collar flipped up, a white tennis hat that matches the shirt, and a gold chain sticking out of the top. To the point that when Mick Mixon rolled in there and he walks over, one of the folks from the Panthers walks over and says, "Do you want Mick on your show?" Lonzo, Mick Mixon is standing, me to you. "Hey, you want Mick on your show?" And I said, "Yeah, just let me know when he gets in." They're like, this is Mick. Mick looked like he just left a Limp Bizkit concert. That was in 1999. All
Oh,
right.
By the way, Mick has been and probably still is in a band. So I don't know if you knew that.
You can only dress like Mick
Yeah.
Mixon if you are in a band and cool enough to pull it off.
They've actually played there at one of the kickoff shows before.
Really?
Pretty good. Yeah.
Really? Is it all like Shine Down and Limp Bizkit covers?
Here's another reason why I know, because one year Mick's band was playing somewhere and he couldn't do the kickoff. So I got to do it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Dude. And by the way, a killer dude.
Oh, he is so
He's a killer
he
dude.
is so awesome. He really is.
Like so obnoxiously nice. It was ridiculous. Almost infuriating.
And good with the pun and sarcasm.
Oh, yeah.
Also.
It was great. So anyway, Panthers did a phenomenal job. Appreciate them having us out there. We enjoyed it tremendously. Then we got to go over to practice itself, which was being held outdoors at the stadium there on campus. And I will tell you a couple of things. First off, Wofford's got a nice little campus put together, man. Like, I don't know what I was expecting, Lonzo. I don't know exactly what I was expecting, but they surpassed whatever it was.
It's a very nice campus, and there for a few years, or for quite some time, Spartanburg High School played their high school games there before the new high school was built. Yeah, so I've been there for college, been there for high school, and been there for Panther camp. Yeah, it's really nice.
I got to tell you, I don't know what I expected, but I got lost on campus for about half an hour. And it was the most pleasant experience of being lost I've had in a long time. Really. It was a nice little experience of being lost, to be honest with you. It was campus was beautiful. The indoor arena was absolutely beautiful. I mean, I like I said, I don't know what I did expect, but it delivered.
Well, I have a major question for the practice itself, since I didn't get to go.
Fire away.
I moved it on Saturday. A couple years ago, last time I was there, Cam Newton, and every time when Cam Newton was there, he came out, he worked the crowd. He was the star that got everybody into everything. Was there someone who did that this time?
Not one person. There wasn't like one group. I will say that as practice ended. Now, keep in mind, you have the NFL has these teams still under COVID protocol. So there is no fan access, right? In fact, when we showed up to do our show, one of the first emails that we got from the team was effectively an apology note that said, hey, we're really sorry, but we cannot provide any players or coaches directly to you because of the virus protocol. So we can get you former players, maybe some administration, maybe front office, et cetera, et cetera. We can get you some personalities out there, but we can't really promise any more than that. To which we were like, yeah, no, I mean, we get it, understand. So the fans didn't really have access to the players like they would have in years past, right? Where the players would come right up to the edge of where the stadium seats are and sign autographs and lean over and take selfies. None of that. But, they did what they could. They as they left the practice field, they kind of waved up at the players and smiled and took pictures from afar and all that, which was, about the best you could ask for in that circumstance, unfortunately. I will tell you the crowd, Lonzo, was super into it. They were running 1v1s there at the end, first offense versus first defense. They were running a pretty fun first offense versus first defense session, all passes down towards the end. And the Panthers crowd was getting hype, and the players were kind of feeding off of it a little bit. Like, you could tell DBs were coming up and looking up at the stands. At one point, there was a one-on-one between AJ Boye and one of the younger wide receivers. I'm blanking on who it was. But anyway, wide receiver gets by Boye. Boye chases him down. As the ball comes into the wide receiver's hands, the crowd kind of pops because they thought, damn, that's a great catch. And Bouye ends up punching the ball up through his hands and knocking it out. He turns around, he runs back to the stands, and he's like, hey, I heard y'all saying, oh, where y'all at? Talking to, it was great. And the fans are talking about, I mean, it was a lot. It was just kind of a cool little thing, which I think is exactly what you're going for in that particular moment, man. It was fun. It was cool.
Well, I'm glad there was interaction because, like I said, in years past, there has been. That's one of the cool parts of going to camp there, the fact that the players will interact and yell back at the crowd and stuff like that. It's always been fun.
Oh, yeah. They would let him have it. They would let him have it. It was a good time, though. It was a good time. Texter says Wofford's campus is gorgeous and their baseball field actually gets used too, unlike Furman's. Go Terriers.
That was out of all the ones you've sent, Texter, that was probably,
damn.
that was rough.
Yeah. You've said some fun ones back and forth regarding the Wofford Furman rivalry that I've been like, okay, all right, little smack talk here. Cup of haters. That one, that was brutal. That was a brutal text. All right, what did I see out of that practice? I'll give you a rundown of that when we come back here in just a minute. I'm Rob. He's Lonzo. This is ESPN Upstate.
QC Connects.
QC Kinetics right here in Greenville and up in Asheville if you're headed up that way. QC Kinetics. Listen, here's the deal, man. Life is tough, and sometimes you play a video game too hard, and then all of a sudden you wake up the next day and your shoulder hurts and your elbow hurts from holding up that plastic gun to shoot the bad guy aliens, right? Or you go out and, I don't know, you throw a couple of baseballs for the better part of 25 minutes, and you wake up the next day and it just feels like your shoulder's going to fall off because of that pain. Well, QC Kinetics wants you to know that that doesn't have to be your real life. That's right. They have non-surgical regenerative therapies that are designed to get you back to your regular day-to-day real life without that chronic joint pain that makes you feel beat up every time you do, well, something, anything. That's what they're here for. And it works. Go to QCkinetics.com, QCKINETIX, QCkinetics.com, and check out how exactly the science works. You can also hear from dozens and dozens of happy and satisfied QC Kinetics customers about why they are glad that they called QC Kinetics. And you will be too. Call them at 864-448-3772, 864-448-3772. Mention the Rob Brown Show. Get that first consultation for free, or check their website out at QCkinetics.com, QCKINETIX.com. It's our friends at QC Kinetics. Joseph said for what it cost, Wofford better be nice.
Car accident involving Clemson football player Fred Davis. The incident happened on July 21st. According to the statement, they have charged him with reckless driving, a violation of South Carolina Code of Laws. The investigation revealed that Davis was traveling at a speed of 115 miles per hour in a 55-mile-per-hour zone before he hit a mail carrier vehicle. Clemson saying that they are going to address the situation later on in the week. Download the Score app today. Lightning fast sports alerts so you never miss a thing. It's why the Score app is one of North America's most popular sports apps. With your ESPN Upstate Sports Center update, I'm Matt Pauley.
Hey, high school football fans, this is Cole Bryson, the voice of the Burns Rebels. The season is fast approaching. Join Jed Blackwell and me for the first Saturday morning scramble starting Saturday, August 7th from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. as we preview a brand new season of South Carolina high school football. The Saturday morning scramble, powered by Founders Federal Credit Union and Ingles, the official grocery store of the Saturday morning scramble.
The Saturday morning scramble. ESPN Upstate, 97.7 FM, Creek, 97.1 FM, Spartanburg.
With Cricket Wireless, get everything you want in a great wireless plan. everything? Yeah, with nationwide 5G speeds for nonstop downloading everything.
Are you saying super fast 5G downloading right before you get on the plane? Everything?
Yep, your favorite shows and movies just in time for the plane. Everything.
And we're off with everything we need.
It's everything you want, including the price. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Save now on Pro Essentials with Lowe's Pro Summer Savings. Save on select appliance special values. Plus, save an additional $50 when you buy 2 or more appliances, each priced $396 or more. You'll also find savings on tools and more throughout the store. At Lowe's, a new home for pros. Must ask cashier to apply discount in store. Online must use promo code. Can't be combined with any other discounts. See Lowe's.com for exclusions and terms. Valid 7/15 to 8/4. U.S. only. Welcome to AutoZone. Having some starting trouble? We can help you out. Let's start with a
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Yeah, man, that was show. I tried to do the math. I think I'm around show number 35 on Cowboy Mouth at this point.
That's why we're America's #1 battery destination.
Do they remember you though?
I think Fred does because he had me on the show, but I did send him a song request on Twitter and he played it. A song I don't play very often. And then after the show, he comes out and he signs autographs, takes pictures. And I said, hey, man, I don't know if I was the reason that you played Take Me Back to New Orleans, but I was the one that requested on Twitter. He said, yep, that's exactly why we played it. That was kind of cool.
That's awesome.
In proof that listeners genuinely love me and want nothing but the best for me, Roger on the Facebook stream at facebook.com/ESPN Upstate, twitter.com/ESPN Upstate, or search the Rob Brown Show on YouTube, said, Rob, like you, I had to make changes in lifestyle and working out. I changed out 12-ounce curls to 24-ounce Kraft white can curls. After a 5-hour workout, you will feel it the next day. Different kind of workout, but I appreciate the enthusiasm. Roger, 844-477-3776 is the number.
Bro, I don't get it.
Lons bro. So, got the opportunity to head over and watch the Carolina Panthers practice. I got a couple of takeaways, Lons bro. Let's start with this. Sam Darnold still looks like a guy who is learning to be a franchise quarterback. All right. He still looks like a guy who is learning how to be a franchise quarterback. He does not look like a cad. You know, you have these quarterbacks that come in rookie ready. Like they are rookie ready to be the man. They are rookie ready to be the franchise QB up front. I don't see that out of Sam Darnold, to tell you the truth. Like, he did not look – he came over at one point. He was running by the sideline, and he was on his way to cut a little promo alongside the NFL Net folks who were – we were on the VIP side, and it looked like he was coming over to cut a little promo alongside the VIP folks in the next to the NFL Network stand. And when he got over there, as he's walking up to the sideline, he passes in front of the VIP crowd, and the VIP crowd, Sam Darnold, we love you, Sam. Because there's different bunch of different people's different voices.
How do you know you love him yet? He ain't done anything yet. I'm just saying.
Fair enough. So as he's running by, the VIP crowd is yelling at him, Sam. And he kind of like, almost like he's shy. Just little, yo, hello. And then I somebody had told me earlier, somebody who has access to Sam Darnold, and said that the one thing more than anything else that they blame New York, for with Sam Darnold. They said they blame him, Lonzo, for the fact that he is so scripted polished. If you ask him a question, he has a prepared scripted answer for it. If you ask him a question, he already knows what the answer to that question is. He already knows how he's going to answer that question. He already knows the direction he wants, and he kind of already knows how he's going to spin that in a way to give you a canned answer.
By the way,
that he doesn't have to show personality.
Well, what's wrong with that? Maybe he's doing that because of nerves or something like that. That's one way to do that. Okay, if someone asks me this, I'm going to answer it this way. If someone asks me this, I'm going to answer it that. I mean, it might be a coping mechanism. The way you talked about how he threw his hands up in a way, it sounds like shyness. Doesn't mean it is, but it could be.
That's fair. Again, I don't know if Sam Darnold's a shy guy or not. I don't know that Sam Darnold has any interest in allowing the truest version of Sam Darnold to be shown, right? Like, I don't know if he has any interest in letting people know who Sam Darnold really is. And I guess to some degree there's no obligation for him to do that, right? It's not like he owes that to anybody. He doesn't owe being forthright with himself, who he is, to anybody. Of course he doesn't. I'm not arguing that he does.
He's obligated, just like any other NFL player, to talk to the media. If he doesn't, he'll get fined, all that kind of stuff. So nowhere does it say in the laws, I'm guessing, that you have to show personality when speaking.
Man, I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Exactly. But that had a lot of character to it. But
Really did.
May I say his Doritos commercials are awesome.
So good, right?
They are.
Talk about to do with personality. Now, here's why I think a lot of people kind of get to a point that they get frustrated with that. I think a lot of people get frustrated with it because it's hard for us to envision, Lonzo. It's hard for us to envision a leader who is not vocal, who is not upfront, who is not charismatic. We don't see those very often, right? Like, we don't see leaders that aren't at least somewhat charismatic. And if we're being honest, this dude is kind of the opposite, man. Kind of the opposite. He's kind of not charismatic at all. And I guess that's why there is some level of concern about Sam Darnold. And I'll tell you, as I'm watching first team v. first team at Panthers practice this weekend, as I'm watching first team v. first team, I get that concern. I get that concern. Because as I'm watching him lead the offense, Lonzo, I don't see him leading the offense. He just kind of looks like he's out there going through the motions. And, I'm the only one, I think, maybe with Lonzo included here, I think I'm the only one on the station that was optimistic about Sam Darnold when he first got traded for, right?
It was definitely an upgrade from what they had.
Sure.
No offense to Teddy Bridgewater, but he's an upgrade from what they had. And no, I'm excited about the possibilities too, because coming out of college, they had such high hopes, and you go to the Jets and the Jets kill you. That's just what they do. I would say because of that, you talked about how he's conditioned because of the New York media. He's also conditioned to a point because he's been on a losing team for a few years, and it takes a little bit to shake that off. And I'm not worried about the fact that he's a little shaky in the first couple practices, because he's learning a new playbook and all that kind of stuff too. It's how's he look in that dress rehearsal? Are they still having the dress rehearsal preseason game? I mean, which one is that now? Which number is it? Didn't they drop a preseason game? I thought they did.
No, yeah. I think we're down to
3.
3 plus the full 17 game schedule.
So which one is, so number 2, I would guess, would be the dress rehearsal. We're in new ground here. So
Yeah, we really are. We really are.
So if he looks good in game, I'm going to guess game number 2 of the preseason. Awesome. If he looks shaky there, then there might be some cause for concern.
By the way, Hall of Fame game is this Thursday. We're going old school. Dallas Cowboys, Pittsburgh Steelers will take place in the Hall of Fame game this Thursday. It'll start at 8:00 at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton. Also the beginning of a full weekend of activities in which a new Hall of Fame class gets enshrined. Last year's weekend was postponed because of COVID. All preseason NFL games were completely canceled in 2020, including the Hall of Fame game. So this is the first one of many. It'll be interesting to see what the new Cowboys offense is going to look like. But yeah, look, I think when I looked at Sam Darnold at practice, like I said, I think I was the only person on this station that was excited about Sam Darnold showing up. Mark Ryan said that the Panthers will for years look back with sadness and defeat at the fact that they could have had Justin Fields but got Sam Darnold instead. I don't agree. Or I didn't agree at the time. Here's the one thing I can tell you. That I watched Sam Darnold during first-team offense versus first-team defense. And Zoe, in fairness, to be clear, it's helmets and shirts and shorts practices, right? They weren't even wearing pads yet. Helmets and shirts and shorts practice. And looking at this guy.
Not only that, and I'm going from history here, but there's kind of of we're just playing around, having a good time kind of a thing on that practice in front of the fans. So you don't even know how serious they really were.
They're a week and a half away from preseason. They better be getting there, right? I guess maybe they could be like, hey, let's go put on a show. Let's go put on a show.
Did they have a practice earlier in the day?
They did.
Yeah.
They did. It was the second practice of the day. But I think I'm going to stick.
I take these practices as the equivalent of a walkthrough before a game.
Just almost entertainment value.
Yes. That's why I asked you how they work the crowd and everything, because there have been in the past things that you're just like horrible. Oh my God, what are they doing? Case in point, Ryan Suckup, not Suckup, Butker. Butker was there, the kicker, and he was trying out, and he was like the second kicker. So many wide rights, so many wide lefts that it was ridiculous, and they were making fun in the end zone about how bad he really was. And then he gets traded to Kansas City, and look at how awesome he is. They're just out there, I think, to a certain degree to entertain the crowd. Yeah, they're running the plays, and I don't think they're going full on, and I don't think you can judge where they are as a team by how they do at Fan Day.
I will agree to some point. I will also go one step further to say that even if that is the case, which I will agree with you that it is, even if that is the case, I still want to see him commanding the offense. I still want to see him being a leader of the offense, right? I have been to many Saints practices in a similar situation when Drew Brees was there, and I lived down in the South. And I can promise that even when it was 7-on-7, shells only, preseason walkthrough warmups, Brees is out there commanding, you do this, I want you here, move this, here's the audible, here's this, here's the snap count.
I'm not trying
I didn't see any of that.
I'm not trying to counter everything you say, but remember, you're talking about Drew Brees. Do you expect everyone to be, Drew Brees, arguably one of the better quarterbacks ever. You're comparing him to him, and it's just not going to be the same.
No, I know it's not, but I don't think it's too much to hope that your quarterback has the ability to call wide receivers over and tell them what he wants. Here's what I want out of y'all. Here's what I'm looking for. Here's what I need. And here's what I saw. I see Sam Darnold drop back, check down again, and then when the play was over, turn back around, walk back to where the QB line was standing, waiting for their next turn, turn around, pop the helmet off so it's up on top of his head, and then stand there with his arms crossed until it was his turn to go. His turn to go again.
So the QB2, whoever that would be, is it who?
PJ Walker.
Did he come in and was he different? Was he more commanding? Was he more? Did he look like what you expected?
He looked like he was trying to fight to make a roster. So did Greer. Those guys look like they were fighting to make a roster. Is what they look like. I mean, it's very, very clearly Sam Darnold's team. But I'm saying I need to see him more in command. I need to see more of a leader's mentality out of him if he's going to have a chance. Because he looks like he's just very kind of meh about being the starting quarterback. He looks like he's just kind of meh. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a defeatist here, Lonzo, but I just wasn't impressed.
And I'm being the opposite just because, maybe it's just because the Panthers are my number 2 team. I don't know. Maybe, possibly.
844-477-3776, 844-GSP ESPN. Text us in at 71307, 71307. Ingles Market text line is open. Quick break back after this. Rob Alonzo, this is ESPN Upstate.
So what you're saying is that he fits what the expectations are of this team, that they're going to be middle of the road, middle of the pack. Okay.
Should have said that on the air. That would have been really better.
That was an internet exclusive. You're welcome. Sorry, I didn't think of it till just then. Apologize.
I'm Christine Lisi, breaking news. The decision has been made. Coach quarterback Carson Wentz will undergo surgery on his injured foot. Is expected to miss 5 to 12 weeks. Coach Van Dyke says it's an opening to be possibly tried for the decision to see first team reps at practice with Wentz out. An MRI revealed Panthers rookie receiver Devontae Smith has a sprained MCL, according to ESPN's Adam Schefter. He'll likely miss 2 to 3 weeks. The team now expressing concern about Smith, who is expected to be Philadelphia's receiver this season. Countdown continues toward the official start.
Do you have anything? I'm just going to ask you now while I'm thinking of it.
Available on the
Planned
market.
for
Chris Paul, Kyle Lowry, Spencer
August
Dinwiddie,
13th. The evening of August 13th.
ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski
That's the night before?
positioned himself to become the front runner for Lowry. Tune into
I don't
the
think so.
Sixers Sports Center, ESPN TV, for
I
the
would like
latest
to
on NBA free agency.
Record the upset also the night before.
Yep.
If you're willing to,
Yep, that's a Friday.
we could go get some food and then come back and do it.
Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. That shouldn't be a problem.
I have to talk to my sponsor, who wants someone on for every show, which I don't want.
Yeah.
And he's not going to be able to do it on the 14th because it's pretty common.
Okay. Free comic book
Which I
day.
suggest you go over and check out.
I should.
It's like 6 or 7 free comic books.
Don't hate that.
Pretty good selection, and they usually have a cover that's designed just for that store alone.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was when I was eating,
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
so I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI, exocrine pancreatitis.
Who knows, maybe Viva Chicken will be open by then.
Is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms
Don't hate that
like
plan.
diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those.
I was looking at the menu Saturday night. You can order a whole chicken.
Just order a whole chicken.
If you want to order a whole chicken,
I'm
they
here
also
for it.
have half chickens or whatever it is, whatever the thing with the leg quarter and whatever's connected to the leg quarter.
Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask,
two in the middle.
Sponsored by AbbVie.
For the ones
Oh, of
going
course.
above and beyond.
Well, you clicked on it.
Helping out.
Oh, I just saw something that said hug dealer. I don't want
Yeah.
that.
People count on.
I just love that it says the battle and knowing.
Grainger offers supplies
I
and
like it.
solutions for every industry.
What are the other two?
24/7 customer support and
Too
specialists
fuzzy.
to help
Now I have to go look at that website.
Because you've got everyone's back. We've got yours. Call quickgrainger.com.
Oh, it's a Care Bears shirt that says hug dealer.
For the ones who get it
Figures.
done.
The Do You Even Lift Bro He-Man shirt. Solid.
Roasted nuts make it perfectly salty. Get two great tastes in one delicious.
Amity Island Surf Shop.
Nature Valley Sweet and Salty Nut Bar today. Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate.
Chobu's rum is very bad to steal.
And if you have the wrong car insurance, these repair costs could stop you in your tracks. So get Allstate's new low auto rate and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Goodyear believes in the power of moving forward. No matter if it's on the track, the court, or the field, movement makes us want to be more. It pushes us to go further, to show the world what we can do. Movement has the unique ability to change our perspective, to challenge us, to work for a better tomorrow. Movement can even bring us together when we're still. Because if we're focused on the next move, we don't have to worry about what's behind us. Goodyear, more driven. Hey, Rob can read.
Address Steven in the chat very quickly. No, we are not calling him Brozo. He is Lonsbro. All right? Lonsbro.
Brozo. That's one. Yeah, Brozo is a little too close. Maybe I was just addressing the stream. Brozo is a little too close to Bozo, which is maybe why you suggested it, which would imply that I'm a clown, which would imply that I'm loony, which I was called a lot as a kid, that I wasn't serious enough, and it's hurtful. Thank you for that.
Yes, Steven.
Way to go, man. I was having a good day.
You ruined it for Lonsbro. Lonsbro. So Lonzo said during the break something that I wish he would have said on the air as we went out.
Which is why you should watch on the stream on ESPN Upstate, and you can see gems like what was uttered then.
Correct.
And I don't remember my exact words. Yeah, I do. Here's my question. My question for Rob was, so what he's saying is Sam Darnold looks like the quarterback on a middle of the pack kind of team, a team that's going to end up 500 as they're projected.
Yeah, effectively, Lonzo said, so you think Sam Darnold looks like the quarterback of the team you expect the Panthers to be? And the answer is, yeah. Yes. Yes, I do. He looks exactly like I expect the quarterback of a 500 ball club to look. And here's the thing. You can decide if 500 is a successful season for the Panthers or not. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now in advance, Lonsbro, after what I saw out of the one defense, granted again, hat, shirts, and shorts, so we don't fully know. But after what I saw, I think this Carolina defense is going to be good. All right. I think they're going to be real good. I think the defensive line is going to be one of, if not the best defensive line in football, with Brian Burns on one side. You've got the free agent additions on the other. Jeremy Chin, who, by the way, speaking of a dude, Jeremy Chin's a dude. We knew that, but to see him up close and in person, very impressive.
What's McCaffrey look like off the injury?
Two thighs wearing a jersey and a helmet stuck on top.
So normal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
First
time he walked by, Mark hits me and he goes, "There's McCaffrey." Like, I don't know who number 22 is. And I look down and dude, like I don't know how to explain it, Lonzo. It looks like two thighs mounted on top of a pair of biceps with a helmet on top.
There was definitely a difference between his rookie season and the next season, as far as Well, we saw the pictures and everything, but until you actually see it in person, I don't know how close you guys are able to get with the new protocols and everything. A couple of years ago, you were right there on the fence as they walked in. So, I mean, you could actually see that close. And it's like, and what Mark did to you, I did to him. It's like, that's McCaffrey.
Yeah. It was, I mean, we were still relatively close. You could get down to the last row of the stadium, or of the bleachers, but the team was actually pushed in all the way almost up to the sideline of the field. So there wasn't like a ton of room for any interaction back and forth. But yeah, seeing that dude up close, he's a dude, man. Like he's all thigh. It's impressive. But yeah, I think that is kind of exactly what I was going to say, which is that ultimately, in looking at,
does Jeremy Chin look like he's out of place at the new position? I mean, as far as size-wise goes?
Dude, you could have told me he was a linebacker and I'd have believed you. Really? He could be a walk-up outside linebacker. If you'd have told me he was a walk-up outside linebacker, I would have absolutely believed you. Absolutely believed you. I didn't say he looked out of place. I mean, he was flying all over the football field. But between him and JC. Whoo.
Shout out to the Panthers. I wouldn't have to ask all these questions if you had the day on like it normally was during the week instead of putting it on Saturday. Just saying.
If only they had thought of you, Hansbro.
Exactly. They know me. They know me. I mean, come on.
Unbelievable.
Consult next time.
I will fire off the complaint email later.
Like I haven't already sent it.
Take a break. When we come back, I'll give you my last few thoughts about Carolina practice. We'll switch to some Olympics talk in the third hour of the show. A lot more to get to. I'm Rob. He's Lon's bro. This is ESPN Upstate.
To my wife, who just checked in a little bit late, has wondered why he's calling me that. It's because of this. Bro. That's all. That's all. Let's face it, with all the nicknames I have, some of them are unairable, unfortunately. I'm good. I think the real question is, am I taking advantage of Rob's lack of energy and interrupting him so much? Because I feel bad about it. But, let's keep having questions. Or is it that I know he doesn't have enough energy to catch me? So, I mean, Did you see that bro pivot? It was awesome.
Bro.
And yes, I always dance to the trash can. And then dance back.
Call it a bro pivot.
Yes, I did.
Bro.
Kind of like the Bro Derek and, all that stuff.
Bro Derek. What a name. What a name.
Also proof he's a lot older than people think, but He's in his 30s, I believe.
Matt Riddle is
I'm gonna go like
younger than me.
I'm gonna go like 32,
35.
35. Okay. Yeah, it just goes to show that people should act their age. I mean, you know, and cut their hair and wear suits and stuff.
Bro.
Keep seeing rumors of a return tonight. We'll see. Speaking of Riddle,
Bring back. Oh, is that who you think's
yes, a Randy return. What about Keith Lee just suddenly being back
what are y'all gonna do with him?
without explanation?
Or are we just gonna cut him like we did Bray?
Yeah, I broke that Saturday. I saw it right before I went on the air. I was like, what? I'm surprised, but I'm not.
I was ver surprised.
And get a Samsung Galaxy A32 5G for only $299. All on America's best networks. 5G coverage, 5G phone, less money, straight talk wireless, no contract, no compromise. 5G.
I was asked earlier if I went to see Jungle Cruise or had any interest in it, and I don't. And I don't know why. I just
I'm not like going out of my way for it, but I'm gonna watch it.
me too when it's free. It's one of those just like Mulan when that came, the live action Mulan. I knew I'd watch it eventually, but I didn't want to pay the $30 for it like I did for Black Widow. There are certain movies I will, but I think the next movie that I go to the theater to see will probably be Free Guy. Because I think that's
Yeah,
only in
100%.
I think that's only in theaters.
We got a text in from our buddy Red. Red tweeted in, can y'all talk a little bit about the Clemson player that was involved in the mail truck accident? It seems very strange that he was arrested 10 days after the fact, not charged with leaving the scene, but they said he was going 115 miles an hour. Yeah, the story about 19-year-old Frederick Davis getting busted driving 115 and a 55 is interested. I also noticed that the arrest was for an accident that took place back on the 21st. The Clemson Police Department announced that after an investigation of the accident that took place on July 21st, on US 123 in Clemson, it found probable cause to charge Tigers sophomore defensive back Fred Davis with reckless driving. CPD's investigation revealed Davis was traveling at the speed of 115 and a 55 before colliding with the postal carrier around 3 p.m. between the overpasses of Berkeley Drive and US 93. WPSA out of Clemson reports that the force of the impact caused the mail truck to flip over into oncoming traffic. Two other vehicles collided, attempting to avoid the mail truck. According to the Observer, Davis's Dodge Charger traveled over both lanes of traffic, went over a guardrail, and came to rest on the shoulder of the highway. The mail carrier sustained severe injuries that will require several months or longer of recovery. Clemson put out a statement that said that this is being looked at internally and that any discipline will be handled through the internal process. Clemson spokesperson said, quote, Fred Davis remains with the program, but will be subject to internal discipline. Grounds for internal discipline for misdemeanor charges like this are covered under the terms of the Clemson Student Athlete Handbook, which says that the head coach can recommend a course of action and upon concurrence of the designated CUAD administrator administer sanctions, end quote. The former four-star recruit rated number 53 all overall in the class of 2020 composite now has his future up in the air with the Clemson Tigers. It looks like they didn't arrest him up front because they did not know entirely what happened. But that pending after an investigation, they found obviously that his speed was way too fast and made the arrest. He is out on bail. Lonzo, just a crappy story all around, to tell you the truth. Stupid kid makes stupid decision and threatens the life of one guy accidentally, and now it may very well impact his future moving forward. No doubt about it.
Yeah, you got to slow down. You absolutely do. I think it's implied that maybe it was covered up a little bit, and that's always a story. But college towns seem to keep those kind of things kind of quiet, and this is something that was pretty impactful, especially for the mail carrier.
Yeah, several months, if not longer, to recover and get back to his real life. I don't know, man. Sad story. We'll find out. Yeah, I would be interested. I'd be interested why it took 10 days for an arrest to get made. The cover up, is that a pretty standard operating procedure? I'd be curious. Texter says, ESPN, let's go, Lonsbro. File the legal change now. I'll never be able to hear the old name the same way. I'm Rob Brown. He's Lonsbro. Back after this on ESPN Upstate.
If you're going to do it, you need to say it right. Needs to be some. There we go. Because that's a totally different thing. I had to explain to my wife why you were doing it.
Why what?
Why you were doing it on the screen.
It's Lonzo. No, it's not today. Any day that Lonzo rocks the flat bill hat, it's Lonsbro.
Won't be too much because, it's football season now, so it's time to start rocking the red gear. And some scarlet and some garnet, which are all red, but
I gotta grab another water.
The show that follows us are a couple of guys that think they are too cool. They call themselves the show for men and us the show for boys because we talk wrestling. Mark Ryan is my colleague and the host of that show that thinks that wrestling is not cool, that folks like you just won't get a real job. Would you mind sending a message to Mark Ryan about his view on this business?
Mark Ryan, let me tell you, if you don't think this is a real job, you're a freaking idiot. It's a 24
Freaking idiot.
You have to be the part, you have to wrestle the part. Not only that, I do have a real freaking job. On top of that, I'm a
Freaking job.
dentist, so I'm not sure what it is your quote-unquote full-time job is, but I have 2 plan A careers. So if you're going to talk smack to anybody, I'm the wrong girl to do that to you. I will stick your face right in the mud and drop my foot on your head.
I would like to start a GoFundMe page to see that happen. For charity, of course.
For charity, of course.
Maybe you should.
Well, I never.
Just ask it, I will play the radio for you.
When you can't reach the radio, ask Alexa to play it for you. Alexa, play ESPN Upstate.
Okay.
And listen to the Upstate.
Darth Helmet.
Without moving a muscle.
Great idea until atrophy sets in.
ESPN Upstate.
And away we go, ladies and gentlemen. The Rob Brown Show back on your radio. This is ESPN Upstate. Hello. Upstate South Carolina. Great to be back with you. I am Rob Brown, the great one, Lonsbro. is directly across from me on the ones and twos today. 844-477-3776, 844-GSP-ESPN. Email us on the Ingles Market text line at 71307, 71307. Text us. Let us know what you got it going on your sports brain today, as we are kind of all over the mat. Got a lot of Olympics going on. We are currently watching Lonzo indoor.
Was that a pit crew?
Team.
I think that was a pit crew.
Fast bike inline riding.
I think it's called sprint. I'm not sure. I could hit the info button.
Team. Ride your bike in circles around the gym in a line with other team.
Yeah, it doesn't say.
As fast as you can biking.
While wearing Darth helmet.
Yes.
Yes, it was a Spaceballs.
Splash of the WD-40. Reference. Women's team pursuit.
Pursuit, that's what it is.
Germany currently sitting on a world record pace of 4 minutes, 7.37 seconds. Great Britain second, 7 seconds behind, and the Americans another 2 seconds behind that.
I had to deal with some of those people on my way to work this morning.
People who ride bikes for fun.
Yes. When you live out on those lonely roads surrounded by cow pastures, they tend to come out there and throw the spandex on and pretend like, you know.
Listen, I'm not anti-biker. Like, good on you for being healthy or doing your part or whatever it is you think you're accomplishing.
But if you're on a road that it takes you 5 minutes to get down, and there are many turns and hills and things, which is the reason why they're on there, they always seem to show up right when you can't go around them. And then they motion you around, and you can't. There's no visibility. I'm not going around. Just keep pedaling your butt, and I'll get around when I can.
And you know I can't trust you because you made the decision to ride a bike.
But you're in great shape. Congratulations.
That's not true. I have a bike. I will go ride my bike. I'm just saying, the only spot you leave me, again, I fully endorse bike riding, whether it's for health purposes, whether it's for entertainment purposes, whether it's for transportation purposes. The only argument I'm not here for, Lons Bro, is, well, bikes should have the same rights on the road as cars. Nope.
No, they should not.
Nope, they should not. Absolutely not. Bikers should get the same respect on the road as cars.
That just doesn't look right. I'm just going to say right now, that doesn't look right where that guy's standing back there. But anyway.
He's holding up the...
Yeah, sure he is.
I'm about to take the bro out of your name. That's not very bro of you, Lons Bro.
It just doesn't look right. It's unsightly.
All right, we have... This is not pursuit anymore. This is now...
I don't know.
It's two on two at the same time, but doing the same thing?
Those guys, yeah. Maybe they start at different parts of the track, if I recall, and then they
start on opposite sides of the track. And now, do you keep going until you catch each other, or is it just it's just a time thing?
I don't know. I hope it gets physical.
Wait, now where did the other one go? Now the other guy or girl or whatever just bailed out. Now the one guy's by himself. Is it just two? All right. By the way,
this is exciting.
Two things. Number one, I am super excited by this. Number two, why are the Olympics pretending for a second like Russians are punished right now? Right? They're like, oh, yeah, there was a government-led, government-organized doping scandal amongst the Russian athletes. And as punishment, nothing's going to happen.
We're just going to change the name and throw some letters on the end.
Yeah,
you good?
Now instead of participating as Russia, you are participating as the Russian Olympic Committee. So, the Olympic Committee that is Russian. And instead of the national colors, Lonzo, of red, white, and blue, you're going to wear white with red and blue trim.
Well, clearly there's a difference.
What in the heck?
Now, I don't know this, and I should. I've watched the Olympics, but when Russia wins, I just don't listen because, I grew up in the Cold War. But do they play the Russian national anthem?
That is the only punishment. There is no recognition of Russia by the Olympics at all.
So what do they play? The Olympic theme?
I guess. I haven't really watched any. If I'm watching something, Lons bro, I'm watching it because the Americans are going to medal in it more often than not.
Right, which is why you see me flipping around. I'm looking and saying, there's no Americans in here. I don't, because I wouldn't stick on the bike thing because I don't quite understand it. And it just looks really weird. Now, if they were on light cycles, there you go.
Like Tron?
Yeah, if it was Tron, then we know there'd be some physicality involved. It's fairly close to it. It's like just a step away from that.
So, all right. We're starting with two riders on both sides of the track. It looks like we've got Germany versus China. So half this show, by the way, for the next couple of months is just going to be me trying to figure out sports live on air. All right. So you get, I'm assuming the first lap is a warm-up lap. Two riders riding with each other. All right, so China's out front by just a touch. After the first lap, one of the riders bails out. The other rider is going to go finish the second lap by herself.
Let's go NASCAR here. There's drafting involved. That's what that was.
Oh, that was close.
So one was kind of helping the others win resistance.
Yeah. So all right, China wins, and I believe that was the final, so that's another gold medal for the People's Republic of China. Is that right? Yes, winner, gold medal, final. China winner, Germany second.
Congratulations, you won. You will not be punished.
You won indoor speed gymnasium bicycle fast riding. Congratulations to China.
Do you ever think of like the origins of sports and it's like, you know what? What if it's raining outside? I know. Let's take our bikes inside, dude.
Texter says they don't get to hear their national anthem either. It's so debilitating. I know. There was actually, you know what? I'm glad I brought this up. Thank you, me. I'm glad y'all brought this up too. I had a topic I wanted to bring up on Friday, but I didn't get to it. Ryan Murphy is a swimmer. And he went up against Evgeny Rylov, a Russian swimmer who had just beat him for his second gold medal of the Olympics. And a reporter chased him down because after the gold medal ceremony, Ryan Murphy said, basically, I do believe there is doping in swimming, end quote. He made some other comments about how he thinks that there are some people in the pool who are indeed cheating, and said that it was, thought it was classist, etc. And a lot of Russian athletes and a lot of Russian media are picking apart the comments of Ryan Murphy, saying, hey, this is sour grapes, right? This is sour grapes. You're mad you lost, so of course you're going to accuse the winner of cheating, except for it has been proven that the Russian government had implemented a doping program for their Olympic athletes. It had been proven. And so there were some anti-doping agencies that called for a flat-out ban on Russian athletes participating in the Olympics at all as a punishment for the state-run program. Their argument is that basically picking and choosing between clean athletes and dirty ones has been made impossible by Russia's tampering with the evidence. And they believe that because Russia tampered with the evidence in this investigation, that as a whole, all Russian athletes should be thrown out of the Olympics, since there's no way to know who is doping and who isn't, because the Russians basically killed off that investigation. Travis Tigert, the CEO of the U.S. Anti-Doping Agency, said, quote, the obvious intent by manipulating the data was to ensure doped athletes were able to escape sanction. Now we can never know, and all are necessarily part of the cover-up, as sad as that may seem, if there are truly any innocent ones, end quote. So now you have hundreds of Russian athletes competing at these Olympics that are wearing red, white, and blue and carrying a blank red, white, and blue flag on it. The name of their party includes Russian. Their fans are in the stands shouting, Russia, Russia. They are Russian. And although they may be clean, none of them have been forced to prove that they are Russian. So here we are having to take every Russian athlete at their word that they have not been cheating, that they have not been doping, that this is all honest, despite the fact that very clearly some of them were, by the Russian government's admittance before the Olympics. It's just kind of a pain. And yet people are beating up Ryan Murphy for making the comment that it looks like on the outside looking in that this swimmer likely was doping. But because the Olympics just said, hey, Russia bad, Russian athletes okay, and let them in, we'll never get to know. We'll never get to know. Lonzo, sour grapes from a silver medalist that lost to a Russian, or a valid argument?
I think anyone can say that they believe that someone is doping, because chances are someone in the Olympics is doping. So I don't have a problem with it, because there's a good shot that, and as you pointed out, it's not history, it's recent history. There's a reason why they can't carry their own flag and all that kind of stuff. So we're to believe that all these athletes are clean, even though all that stuff's been stripped. We're to believe, hey, yeah, I don't believe it.
Yeah, no, listen. There are inevitably Russians that are doping, right? That's literally why all of this is a conversation.
You know what? There's probably Chinese, might be some French, could be some British, might even be some American.
Oh, you shut your patriotic mouth.
There might be.
There absolutely are. And this is why I think it's you've got to let the science lead to how to determine what is doping and what is not. And B, I think you've got to get to a point where the Olympics take no prisoners. Take no prisoners on those who are doping. When you let the Russians in, when you let the Russians come and compete, when you let the Russians take to the stage and hear and see and do everything except play their national anthem, I kind of got news for you. At that point, you haven't punished anybody for anything. And you kind of disrespect the Olympics a little bit. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back here in just a minute. I got a few more stories I want to get into before we get to the end of the show, including Team USA basketball. Team USA soccer last night, huge Gold Cup win. And I'll tell you, one that I was very proud of, like emotional on the couch at 11:45 at night, proud of. Talk about that when we come back on the Rob Brown Show on ESPN Upstate. Interference of the listeners' lives.
Reaction to the latest sports news, insights from the national experts. Today's action, we call that wagertainment. BetQL shows are now streaming.
Nothing on for women's weightlifting?
I'm pretty sure that's not a woman. I think that might be the.
You are correct. The first transgender Olympic athlete in an individual sport who then did not qualify because could not get a lift up.
What is this?
This looks like beach volleyball.
Okay. Yeah. Got some Merkins in it. Did he just vape? Did I just see it? What did he just do? Maybe it was juice or something.
He just vape on
That's
the
what it
sideline of
looked
the
like.
Olympics.
I'm guessing that's not acceptable. I don't know. Oh yeah, I just saw something from Ian Rappaport saying that Nick Foles would be open to being traded to the Colts.
I'll do it. Just do it.
That would be so
do
funny.
it for the lulls.
Yeah, that would be so funny.
Do it for the lulls. Carson's going to be like, you guys have got to be kidding me. You get the only clip that I have in the roster
right.
today. Just one clip in the roster for you today. And it's a long one, but a good one. Team USA Soccer last night texting on Mexico L3, our neighbors to the south in the Gold Cup final. Now, set this up. Mexico brought 80% of their A team. The Americans brought their developmental squad. These are the cats that we are still trying to see where, how, if they fit into the World Cup qualifying event in about a week and I guess about 2 weeks from now. Actually, a little bit longer. I think it's September 5th. Either way, some of these guys are the guys that are trying to get their name on the roster. This was a very important game for them. And damn if they didn't play like it. They came out last night hot. And they won. Just a little highlight clip for you from the end of that match.
Not even moving behind the play right now.
Oh, wow.
And Joe Aquini just takes a big hit from Edson Alvarez. That's going to be another yellow card.
To stop the counterattack. Vines was on a 30-yard run to try and get in and join him on the left. And that's a cynical tackle there from Alvarez, but he stops the U.S. counterattack. A set-piece opportunity. Hoppy's down on the far side right now, stretching out.
117th minute. Acosta hooks it into the traffic. A free header, and it's a goal! The United States has scored! Miles Robinson!
And what a moment for Miles Robinson. And the delivery from Acosta. Oh, that is tight. That offside decision with the Mexican defender at the top of the screen. But it's Robinson who has been immense for the United States all tournament long. He has stood out for this group. Acosta puts it in a dangerous area, and he beats Alvarez to it. Just wants it more. It has been the U.S. all game long, battling, fighting, grit, determination, pride, and heart. Ultimately, they get him there, 6-yard box, 118th minute to rise home and not at home, which surely should be the winner for the United States to win the Gold Cup.
They have scored late goals before at the Gold Cup. The American substitutes you saw, their arms around one another on the bench, ready to come out and celebrate. Miss hit by Gallardo. Roldan steps in to take it away. Roldan plays into the space. Zardes running in. Chaco Rodriguez missed it. Got back to it. Clears it in the air. Bucio's there to bring it down. Can the U.S. just keep this thing in the corner? Not even a touch for Mexico until that final whistle. Here's the teenager, Gianluca Bucio, battling in the corner. Joaquini's in there as well. That's it! The United States has done it! They've won the Gold Cup!
If you're an American at home watching this, you should be proud of this team. Greg Berhalter, what a job throughout this tournament, coaching this group. A group of individuals that grew into a team that had heart, they had desire, they had the American spirit and determination. I tell you what, they were outmatched Mexico's best team. Throw it all out the window. This is a final. Finals are made to be won. The U.S. won a final against Mexico's A team. It wasn't pretty at times. They had to dig deep. They fought. They got stuck in the tackles. And then it's a set piece. It's Miles Robinson, the unsung hero from this team, who will be with the World Cup qualifying squad come September. You can bet on that. This team, fantastic performance. Congratulations to Greg Berhalter and every single one of those players. Enjoy your night. It's Vegas.
The latest ever goal the United States has scored in a game against Mexico. If it was a generational moment on June the 6th, it is a rubber stamp on top on August the 1st.
I thought you were going to be stuck in a time loop over there for a minute.
Well, that was the Rob Brown Show reenactment of what happened on the field.
Brick. Lonzo was trying to get a Dr. Pepper bottle into the trash can.
It's actually a water bottle. It's a little bit bigger. It was a water bottle.
From 8 feet away?
It's at least 12.
He was like 0 for 6 before he finally broke the cold streak and got back to the chair. Huge win last night. And you know, Joe's pointing out that, I heard the same thing, and I said the same thing. You know, they were Alexi and the gang on Fox and Stu and these guys were, what a win over Mexico's A team. It really wasn't, man. Lozano wasn't there, Ochoa wasn't there, Jimenez wasn't there. Joe, you're exactly right. It was, like I said, it was probably 60% of Mexico's A team, maybe 70%, but it was like 10% of our A team, right? Like 10% of our guys. That was the developmental squad. That was the future squad. That was the next group of guys to get called up to push the main roster to the next level. And I gotta tell you, I was very impressed. Talk about a team that gutted something out last night. I honestly, I thought with about 10 to go, somewhere deep in the end of the second half, I thought it was inevitable that we lost. Really, I really did. Mexico was pushing the attack. Mexico had us flustered. Our kids were not in the right place. They were having trouble getting anything going. It's like every time they got on the ball, they would immediately turn up the field to see 2 or 3 or 4 Mexican defenders closing the gap. They wouldn't have the opportunity to get the ball out and into a better position to make the next push. I thought we were toast, to be honest with you. I thought we were done. And they gutted one out. Absolutely gutted out that goal late in the game. You heard the Acosta take of the big foul and then a phenomenal free kick into the 18-yard box. Lonzo, I wish that I would have texted you and said, watch this game because it's going to be good, because it was the perfect definition of how a game with no goals scored for 117 minutes can have an incredible end that matters.
I watched all I needed to watch. I turned around in the office when you were recording the one goal, and I saw the one goal. So I saw all the scoring for the entire 117 minutes. So I'm good.
That's it. I'm taking the bro back.
There was more action, me trying to throw that bottle in that can during the clip than there actually was in that game, apparently.
I'm taking the bro back. He is back to just regular Alonzo, ladies and gentlemen.
which is amazing.
Lon's bro has left the building.
That's fine.
I'm gonna let Steven bring out his name for you again. You're gonna just dump on my loves like that.
Well, did you expect me to do otherwise? And if you got me to watch that game, and I watched that entire game and saw one score, I would not have been happy.
How disappointingly American of you. Disappointingly American.
Thank you, bro.
It's not a compliment, bro. Missed out. Phenomenal win for Team USA last night on the men's side. Made up for a very disappointing morning for the American women this AM, who got bounced from the gold medal match by Canada in a massive upset, man. Massive and disappointing upset. Look, I think you saw a lot out of that team last night, and I have not been on Greg Berhalter's side. Joe and I were I think Facebook messaging or something last night during that game, Twitter DMing, whatever it was, about the fact that Berhalter really made no changes in tactics from first to second half. I thought Mexico had us figured out, made no changes. But this team, despite having no changes being made, despite this team being as aggressive as you could have asked, second half rolled around and they were playing like a team with experience, like a team that knew what they were doing. I was blown away impressed with the second half performance of Team USA. I should say extra time performance of Team USA. They look good. They look good. All right. 844-477-3776, 844-GSP. ESPN is the number. We talked a little Carolina Panthers as far as the overall camp view last week. Now, I want to give you my thoughts as far as to some of the guys that did stand out to me. And for reasons that were better than, they're tall. All right. I got a couple of standouts for you when we come back here in just a minute. I'm Rob. He is Lonzo. This is ESPN Upstate. That guy's cheating. He's not actually utilizing his horse the correct way.
I want to do that. Okay, that's just a Nike commercial. I want to do that. Rob Brown Show, what do you want to talk about? Okay, what's your name? All right, hang on, Jay.
Enjoy the sounds of summer from Little Mushroom Pizza Bagels. Enjoy the taste of summer too, with amazing hand-tossed pies, cool, crisp salads, and over 100 beers from around the world. Hello Mushroom, on Augusta Street in Greenville's West End.
Welcome to AutoZone. Having some starting trouble? We can help you out. Let's start with a free battery test. If you just need a charge, we can help with that too. And if you need a new battery, we've got a wide selection of replacement batteries, starting at just $79.99. And we're the only place you can find proven tough Duralast batteries, including Duralast Platinum, AGM, and EFB technology. That's why we're America's #1 battery destination. Based on data from NGD Group Functions.
Are the ones standing by keeping the line. Experienced safety partner who supplies a solution for every industry. To help you with the same. Call quickrange.com/safety or just stop by. Granger. The ones who get it done.
Wendy's only makes one kind of breakfast, your new favorite one. How do we do it? With fresh cracked eggs, oven baked bacon, and
The Prisma in the next break.
Fabulous.
so toss that old news and its soggy eggs somewhere useful. And get some Wendy's, where the sausage, egg, and Swiss croissant, bacon, egg, and Swiss croissant, and honey butter chicken biscuit are just $2 for $4. this life. Choose Wendy's 2 for $4.
Creamy nut butter makes it delightfully sweet. Roasted nuts make it perfectly salty. Get 2 great tastes in one delicious bar. Enjoy a Nature Valley sweet and salty nut bar today.
Reddit user Flamo Damo says,
Flamo Damo.
people are always bothering me about it. I'm scared just to use my phone in public as a random someone may just give me a stupid grin or whisper to their friends. I cannot stand the fact that I just can't relate to normal phones anymore.
Are you ready for this life? Find out at Samsung.
How tall those guys are. Wow, I just got to look. All right.
Like, that's not what I'm looking at.
No, like, where's the music?
Oh, no. That's not. That's you know what I'm.
I hit that. Yeah, there's a little. These are real world problems. There are little metal borders on the on buttons, and if you hit one just right, it's very painful.
Yeah, and
if you hit that, it's not actually hitting the button, so the button won't work.
Correct. And if you hit any other button on the board, something else happens.
Well, there's that too.
Which I've also done. So no, that was more of a like. I was looking when I realized the music wasn't coming up. I'm like, he has a like window to get the right button pushed on time here. Is he going to be able to do it? And of course he was, because he's Alonso.
Well,
he's a great one.
So I'm just slightly imperfect today. I apologize. I'll do better tomorrow.
Somebody said it. The Colts gave Carson Wentz his own parking spot outside of the facility, Alonso. Isn't that nice of him?
That's mean. That's mean. Goes right along with what I was telling you earlier, though.
Rumor is Nick Foles is open to being sent to the Indianapolis Colts.
He says that Frank Reich is one of his favorite coaches of all time, and he would love to join him again.
Well, I'm going to save this back because I don't know that this is confirmed. Well, there's a name attached to it. I'm willing to go with it. With a name attached. Randy Oliver of the Daily Snark.
Yeah, the Daily Snark. Okay.
Well, quoting another source from frontofficesports.com, is reporting that the Buffalo Bills have recently received a pitch from Austin, Texas, to move the Bills down to Texas, become the third team down there in Texas.
By the way, I heard that mentioned on our station on the network. I forget on what. So I would say that's a little more plausible than your reluctance.
I don't buy it. Don't buy it. Not saying it's not true. Saying I don't buy it, and B, I don't know what the money is that it would take. to get the Buffalo Bills down to Austin, Texas.
No offense to the Buffalo Bills fans, because I know we have them out there, but if you have a chance to move your team from Buffalo to somewhere warm, do it.
No. There is warm, Lonzo, and then there's Austin, Texas.
Well, I haven't been there before. Well, so it's such a contrast that people will struggle to breathe. I mean, going from Buffalo to Austin, is that what you're saying?
Let me tell you about Austin, Texas. All right. Now, I've done been to Austin, Texas, and I got to tell you, I like Austin, Texas. You can keep Austin weird. All right. Great music scene down there in Austin, Texas. Barbecue's good in Austin, Texas.
Is that where that Austin City thing is?
Austin City Limits, right down there in Austin, Texas. That's exactly right. I love Austin, Texas. All right. Love Austin, Texas. In the summertime in Austin, Texas, I tell you what, Lonzo, it's hot enough to fry an egg right there on the hood of your truck. And if you ain't driving a truck, get out.
I'm trying to figure out if your Austin accent is accurate or not, and I don't recall hearing anyone actually from Austin. And I know there is a little bit of a twang to it, not quite a South Carolina or Kentucky or West Virginia twang. There is some twang to it. So how accurate is Rob Brown's Austin accent? If you are from Texas, let us know.
Texas more is a howdy, y'all. Like it's less like South Carolina. You got that drip and that molasses. With Texas, howdy, y'all. It's just kind of it just kind of skims the surface, right? You don't go too deep into the words in Texas. The A's is still A's. They're not, oh. You know what I'm saying? Down there in Austin, Texas. I like Austin. Austin's a cool place, man. That's where Matthew McConaughey hangs out. All right. Oh, dude, we got Jason hanging on the line. I'm sitting here like a jerk. Jason wanted to talk gymnastics. I'm sitting here making fun of Texas. Texter says, ESPN, stop with the bleepy Southern twang. You sound like a moron. Where do you think I grew up?
But again, he's not. I even tried to help you there and say that you weren't trying to do South Carolina or Kentucky.
No, that wasn't South Carolina at all.
And a lot of people don't consider Texas Southern. So, but apparently the texter does.
Jason's up on the phone. Jason, thanks for holding through while I'm being an idiot and getting paid for it. How are you, buddy?
Yeah. Hey, thanks for taking my call. I guess now you get to hear a real Southern accent.
All right, let's go.
Yeah. Hey, listen, for a couple things on the women's gymnastics, very happy with their performance this year. Could have really fallen apart of what is going on with them, all the turmoil and all the pressure and, and obviously all the sexual abuse stuff. And also, we had the physical abuse allegations. But they pulled through and, would have liked to see the team overall. But pretty happy and proud of what they did. And as far as Simone Biles goes, I was surprised that she was not able to take her medicine she was, prescribed, ADHD or whatever. It's like any other medicine you're on. If you're on it, then all of a sudden you get off. It kind of messes you up a little bit. And maybe we need a common sense coordinator in these games. I mean, that's a common medicine that people take. And I promise you, ADHD medicine is not why she has been a dominant gymnast. But anyway, thanks for taking my call.
Jason, appreciate the call. Thank you very much for checking in, man. Yeah, look, we talked about the twisties, right? We talked about the twisties. The twisties are the gymnastics version of the yips. And I've heard a couple of people scoff at this, but I mean, really, you've seen the tricks that Simone Biles does on the mat and on the beam and on the vault and all that, right? It is not too much to say that if she was to fall and not have a good read on where she is in the world, it is fair to say that the twisties could kill you. Lonzo, I want to share with you here. This is Dominique Moceanu, 14 years old. She was back in the Olympics at 14 and was set up with a tibial stress fracture to compete on the balance beam to try to win. And I want you to watch this clip because this is what happened. Bang. All right. That's Dominique Moceanu coming down, literally missing a spot on the beam, coming down directly on the top of her head, DDTing herself on the balance beam.
Didn't fall off the beam, though.
Somehow.
Yeah, she held on to the
Surprised
beam.
she didn't break a vertebrae. All right. She was saying that she had no business being on that vault, but that her coaches made her go out there and do it. It can be deadly if you get the twisties. Can be deadly if you get them. So for Simone to say, no, it's not safe. I'm kind of shocked we're still having that conversation, to be honest with you. But Jason had a great point, which is the rest of those athletes on those teams, the rest of those athletes on the gymnastics team could have absolutely fallen apart without having the captain there, without having the team leader there, without having the Tom Brady of gymnastics there. I should say Tom Brady's the Simone Biles of football, but you get what I'm saying. Without having her there, and they didn't. They stuck it out. Good call, Jason. Texter says, stop with a bleepy southern twang. You sound like a moron. Listen, there's southern twang, South Carolina, Lower Alabama. That's where I'm from. I'm from down Lower Alabama. Then there's Texas. Texas twang's a little bit different, a little higher, right? There's the 3 southern twangs right there. Our texter said there is a difference between a southern accent and a western accent. Texas is western. Well, then don't tell me stop doing a southern twang. Tell me I was doing a western twang.
What they're saying is your twang was too close to southern and not close enough to western, I think is what I'm getting at.
I feel like they just wanted to be offended by it.
I can find the banjos. I mean, I absolutely can find. I still have them on file if necessary.
That's West Virginia twang.
Well, actually, no.
Twang, twang, twang,
Yeah,
twang.
yeah. That was filmed in South Carolina.
I know.
Yeah.
All right. Texas, South Carolina, Alabama, y'all. There's difference.
So the accents in Smokey and the Bandit, the guys that was Texas.
Yeah.
Right? Well, they were in Texas. They were in Texarkana. So I don't know if you recall. I forget the name. I want to go Big Enos and Little Enos, but I can't remember what their name was. But there was a big one and a tall one. If you went somewhere else, that's on you.
No.
Okay.
The next texter says, just quit doing all bleepy dialects. So you're saying people talk like that are bad people? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, that's
rude.
Are you against? I mean,
That's rude, texter.
It absolutely is. So you're saying you go to a different region and you're offended because they talk differently than you?
That's rude. I expected better.
Me too.
Take a break. Twitter trending topics to wrap up the show next. I'm Rob. ESPN. I'm from the North originally, so I take no offense to what accent you choose. Oh, Wisconsin, eh? It's a southern Canada. Eh? You throw bigs, throw cornhole bigs onto the board. See, I'm just here to take everybody down today, Lonzo. I guess what I get when you don't give me my Red Bull. Twitter next to wrap up the show. I'm not a jerk, I promise. I'm just in a mood. It's ESPN Upstate.
Prisma.
Our friends at Prisma Health can help you if you ever walk out of your radio station and just get absolutely beat up by a bunch of people who think you're making fun of their accents. I'm just kidding. I'm having fun. Prisma Health does, however, take care of the Gamecocks of South Carolina, does, however, take care of the Tigers of Clemson, and they can, however, take care of you and your family as well. That's right. It's just that simple. Ladies and gentlemen, you reach out to Prisma Health at prismahealth.org. Not only will they have you all set up with over 2,400 healthcare providers around the entire area, but they've also got locations around the upstate and the Midlands. So there is one convenient to you, and their My Chart feature keeps you completely and totally up to date with all of your healthcare information so you and your doctors can have the best sources of information available to make your healthcare needs a reality. Go to their website, prismahealth.org, prismahealth.org to learn more. It's our friends at Prisma Health right here in the upstate.
How y'all doing? I'm here to see Rob Brown. He's been making fun of me. Got a few friends here. We come to take care of this feller. Ain't from around here. A little bit riled over here. By the way, there are a wall of trucks outside. You're in trouble.
Yeah, wait. Do any of them have
They all have
added
Dale
anatomical
Earnhardt
pieces
stickers.
on the back?
No, they all have Dale Earnhardt stickers. So you can placate them by going NASCAR. As soon as you walk out the door, you'll be all right.
Oh, I see Sting has decided to make it interesting. Huh?
I DM'd you.
I know,
that.
I'm looking at it.
Yeah. That's what I thought was. Yeah. Wonder what that means. Unless he's just trolling, he'd never do that.
Nah. I honestly didn't even know Sting was on Twitter.
Yeah, he follows me and retweeted.
Did he?
Yeah, that was a highlight.
HVAC systems. So give your family or business cool this summer and get Priority Heating and Air a call today at 591-1847 or find them online at PriorityHeatingandAirHVAC.com.
It's a great time to be a Paladin wherever you are, and that includes back on campus.
We caught quite the eyeful on Saturday driving down Garlington Road.
Yeah.
Up there at Hallam near near Topgolf. There's a new hotel there. It's like Comfort Suites or whatever.
Okay.
Driving down the road, Ashley looking at it like, oh, cool new hotel. Shades wide open, two people going
Just-
at it in the window. She's like full silhouette. I saw everything.
Were they attractive? Not that it matters.
I don't
I'm
know.
just
I didn't
curious.
see it, so I don't
Okay.
know.
Beautiful.
Like there's those apartments on, I think it's Richardson Street downtown. So Richardson Street's one off of Main Street.
Okay.
And then there, I think it's McBee, the street that Wild Wayne used to be.
Yep.
on.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
And
you're
so
right.
If you're on McBee, you turn right on Richardson Street. There's apartments that are like right on top of the road.
Okay.
Right, and some bedroom windows that are
Oh,
right
just
over
right
the
there.
road.
Yeah, I
And
know
I'm
exactly what
thinking,
you're talking
How
about.
many people buy those just for that reason?
Yeah.
I stream.
You are.
Hey.
Because you didn't know that was Diesel, or as other people call him, Diesel.
Diesel.
Since I pointed that out, those other people no longer do that.
Diesel.
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 Diesel. You know, like truck.
Bro.
I would ask how come you never hit the microphone with your hat, but you do. So it's not.
No, I don't. First off. Second off, you know the window.
I'm still within the window. I have a shallow mouth.
I'll take combinations of words I've never heard before for 500, please.
It's time for Twitter Trending Topics, where I tell Rob what's trending and he tells us what he knows about it. The first thing that's trending is Ric Flair.
Ric Flair has quit WWE a day after the company released Bray Wyatt, who is a legacy wrestler. Remember, his father wrestled in WWE for years under the name IRS and others. But Husky Harris / Bray Wyatt
Husky's still my favorite.
has been released from WWE. There is no explanation for it other than I am convinced at this point, Vince is just trying to prove a point. I don't know what the point is. Company's getting sold. I'm now convinced of that fact. He is ready to offload. I don't know what it is he's trying to prove with all these moves, though. Like, I genuinely don't get it. That being said, the only theory I've heard that I find interesting, Lonzo, is that Vince is trying to give between letting Punk go there. Bray's probably going to show up. Braun's probably going to show up. Daniel Bryanson is going to show up there. Bryan Danielson is going to show up there.
Both of them.
Yeah, both of them. Vince may think that if he overloads AEW with talent, they'll bloat and mismanage the roster like he has failed to do.
Or like WCW did.
Yes. And I got to tell you, don't see it happening.
We'll see.
Don't see it happening.
We'll see. I hope both companies continue to grow and do well because competition is good and AEW is working on that. But I still think there's a bit of oversaturation that we're seeing. And Sting, by the way, just tweeted a wonderful little video of he and Ric Flair, and the caption is "Woo."
Yep.
And I hope Ric Flair just retires. And I know that sounds like sacrilege coming from, but he's pretty old now. I mean, just sit back and watch your daughter.
I mean,
because what can they do with him? I mean, they brought in Paul White. What's he doing? I mean,
they got Arn Anderson doing awesome stuff. They got Jake the Snake Roberts doing awesome stuff. They got all these guys.
First of all,
awesome
I love Jake, but I don't think he belongs on the mic anymore, and that's my opinion. You may not share it. Arn can still take a bump. Ric Flair is just his health has been too bad. I'm still hitting. I got to turn this hat backwards again. I cannot handle it.
Bro.
All right. Speaking of wrestling, the next thing trending is Adam Cole.
Baby. I have not watched NXT from last week, so what am I missing?
All
Is
right.
he released? Is he on his way to AEW?
The prevailing rumor is that he's on a free agent contract right now. That his contract is already run out.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
So his appearances are on a show-to-show basis.
Gotcha. I would like to think that if there's anybody that's safe, they're on NXT, not the main roster right now, and that Paul Levesque will be covering for them. But at this point, I don't think the cold, icy death of Vince McMahon's fingers, I don't think there's anywhere they can't reach.
All right. The next thing that's trending is Carnage.
Trailer dropped for Carnage, and yes, it does look awesome. Yes, it does. Carnage is who I hoped he would be in the theaters, dude. He looks good. He looks terrifying. Did you like the Venom movie?
I did. There were some parts where the CGI got a little muddled. I think they were trying to do too much on the battles between the symbiotes. Other than that, I liked it. Yes.
I loved it. I think Venom's a great character. I think that
I find flaws in CGI. That's what I do.
Sure. If you can put that behind you, I thought it was a good character. I thought I enjoyed it for what it is, right? It's a break from the superhero movies. It's an anti-hero movie. And they set up this run for Eddie Brock really, really well. Lonzo brought up a valid point, which is maybe they give us just a little too much in the trailer, take away kind of one of the big mysteries, but that's not a for certain. The last alien, the last group of symbiotes didn't get transferred by blood-to-blood contact, remember?
Right, but they no longer exist.
Right.
So I was wondering how they were going to do this. If you don't know what it is, watch the trailer. If you don't want to know what it is, don't watch the trailer. Speaking of Venom,
Looks good, though.
One last thing. Happy Spider-Man Day.
I have to tell you a funny story when we get off the air, by the way. All right. That's going to do it for us, ladies and gentlemen. We stand to the side and welcome to the mic the show for men who drink seltzers at football practices. No names mentioned specifically. Mark Ryan hosts that show. Diesel's along with him. Y'all enjoy. We'll be back tomorrow to try it all over again. For Lonzo, my name is Rob Brown. This is The Rob Brown Show on ESPN Upstate. Later.
come on.
You get my message this weekend? I asked if you.
Is Sports Center.
I did get your message.
On his injured foot is expected to miss 5 to 12 weeks. Coach Frank Reich said it's an old injury. Jacob Eason takes first-team reps at practice with Wentz out. From ESPN's Adam Schefter, Eagles rookie receiver Devontae Smith has a sprained MCL. He's out 2 to 3 weeks. Smith, injured during practice Saturday night, is expected to be the Eagles' lead receiver this season. The NBA free agency frenzy begins officially in 3 hours. Among the marquee names on the market list, Kawhi Leonard, Chris Paul, Kyle Lowry, and DeMar DeRozan. Leonard opting out of his Clippers deal. Not
If we
actually
didn't,
the
I'll
best
submit my
financial
request
decision,
through
in the
App State.
opinion of
Yeah, like I
ESPN's
said, I have
Brian
a
Windham.